Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Cantina MX Football Podcast, episode 426. Messi FC have been eliminated from the Champions Cup. We're going to capture these tiers in 4K here on Twitter Spaces and, of course, on YouTube. So make sure to join us. Request to speak. We want to hear your guys' emotions as we witnessed a complete dominance from Monterrey and in general Liga MX over MLS teams. But before we go any further, just want to let everybody know we are sponsored by Manscaped. So make sure to take care of your huevos and your boxers and all that by using our promo code Cantina at checkout. We also will give you 20% and free shipping. All right, that's enough of that. Want to welcome my good friend Abdias. Abdias, welcome to the show, man. How did you enjoy today's game?
Buenas, putos. Pues mira, con que te diga que me la jalé 3 veces durante el partido, pues ya sabes cuánto me gustó. Hubo putazos, hubo golpes y aún mejor que nada, perdió Messi.
Yeah, and for those that don't speak Spanish, Abdias, being the diplomat that he is, says he enjoyed the match, drinking some scotch, and he respects Inter Miami and the MLS. No, he did not say that. He said go fuck themselves. Complete dominance by Liga MX. What else is new? What else is new?
You know the fucking vibes. You know what it is. Come at it, putos. Liga MX till we die.
Yeah, no. The whole point of this, though, is to get both sides of the story. You know, I know that the MLS lives in delusion because it's a bubble. They don't have relegation. You know, all teams in the MLS have designated players. And, you know, I think that today was a reminder of the gap that there is between Liga MX and MLS, albeit there was one team that did survive, and that is due to Tigrites' incompetence. Hopefully, Isa joins us later on YouTube, and she can give us her take. But yeah, I mean, almost every team in the semifinals was dominated by Liga MX.
I'm gonna put that loss on Marcelo.
Marcelo Flores?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he missed the sitter?
Because he just should have shot it. He should have shot at goal versus trying to pass it to APG.
Yeah.
Like, why did you try to feed the ball? You should have just fucking ripped it. You had a great angle.
No, I agree. You know, I was watching yesterday's game and I was really getting disappointed with how it shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have been that close. It should have never gone to penalties. And I think Tigres fell into that trap that I think Columbus Crew were trying to, you know, build out, which is just let's just try the game and get this to PKs, and it's an even spread there. It's a coin flip. And unfortunately, Tigres' best goalkeeper for PKs is injured, Noel Guzman, who is a mastermind. He likes to play a lot of mind games, and his replacement was just not suffice. And, you know, Gignac missed his PK. He was the first one to take it. I don't agree with having your best PK taker go first. I always think, like, they should go at least third because you know they're still going to have a chance to shoot, but it's not too late in the series, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel it. I like goalies going first. I like my goalies opening it because 9 times out of 10, unless it's fucking Thiago Volpi, they're going to suck ass at it. So, hey, we're both on even terms. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, for sure. Just to recap the score real quick on these matches. So tonight in the Champions Cup, we did have a match earlier. Got to give my flowers to Pachuca. It was never in doubt. They won the first game 5-0 against the Costa Rican team Eridano, coached by Piti Altamirano. And they finished today 2-1. So they did get a consolation goal. But in the end, it was a complete dominance by Pachuca, 7-1 on aggregate. Yesterday, America scored 5 more goals on New England Revolution. It was 9-2. So those two teams will face each other in the semifinal, Pachuca versus America. I don't know where Ricardo is. I hope he's on his knees praying that Pachuca don't push their shit in because they've always had America's number, man. I don't know what it is about that matchup, but it's very enticing.
Yeah, no, Ricardo se está escondiendo, güey, con una pinche cruz, just praying que no les metan el chile like they always do. Because for some reason, like you said, Ranchuca has their number. Like they know how to play against them. And honestly, you know what, man? I'm gonna say this. I think it's just a fucking mind game. Like they're so used to losing against Pachuca that they go in there and they get a case of the yips. And that's it. They're fucked.
So, I mean, I'm just adding up all these score lines, right? We have a 7-1 and a 9-2. That's 16-3. Plus, you add the 5 goals that Monterrey scored on Inter. That's 21 goals, bro. 21 goals against MLS teams. 21-5, bro. And then you add the Tigres and the Columbus game. I mean, it evens out because they both scored 2 apiece. But we're looking at a 23 goal aggregate total against MLS clubs in a semifinal. This isn't the group stage. This isn't the quarters. This isn't the round of 16 semifinals. I mean, just to give you guys some perspective, would you ever see that in the Champions League? No, you would not in semis, bro. You see that in the group stage in the preliminary matches, but not in the semis, bro.
Just goes to prove just how wide the gap is. Like I said last week, right? I said to everyone, I was like, yo, the true test out of all of this is gonna be the Monterrey and the Columbus match. That's what's gonna give us a closer look at like how the gap is looking and how everything else is going. Because we have to remember one thing: Columbus Crew is the defending MLS Cup champion. All right, whatever you think of it, you have to put some respect on it, right? Because you beat the shit out of all these other shit sippers, so you're doing something right. Then comes the fact that they've been able to hold their own. They're in this semifinal. They were able to hold it out versus Tigres. But now when we look at everyone else, man, it truly does speak about how wide the gap is between these two. Not even clubs, just institutions of leagues, right? It's not happening. So when we have this home and away setup, they can't win. They're not used to this.
Dude, when it comes to Liga MX and MLS, I really do think that not playing exclusively on US soil is quite the challenge when it comes to these matches. The ambiance is different, the animosity, the energy, the pressure, it's different, bro. We move differently in Liga MX and in Mexico. I know that we've seen articles in the past say that they throw batteries, that they throw bags of urine, that there's violence. I think they, like to, exaggerate a little bit, but we saw players today shooketh, bro. Absolutely soiling their shorts, dude. They were not ready for this.
They weren't. But before I go into that, let me just answer your little thing with you know the fucking vibes, bro. Come at it. All right. You're gonna get batteries thrown at you. You're gonna get piss, and you're gonna get Coke bottles thrown at you as well. Like, welcome to Mexico. There's a reason why we have granaderos at every single corner, right? We have riot police there. They have the shields to protect the players, not even themselves. Fuck that. They're there to protect the players as best as they can from all of the projectiles coming in. Those are the vibes. That's a hostile game. If
Yeah.
you really want competition, go to Sudamerica way. It's gonna be way different because out there they're throwing flares, there's smoke bombs. It's way the fuck different.
And
Now,
yeah. And they
go ahead.
have everything. Like, I think what people don't understand outside of like the United States is that this is not our fifth choice of sport. This is our number one sport. Some cities are very, very humble, very rural, and this is all they got in their life, bro. Their life is shit. They have a shitty job. They have like, this is their only hope, their only glee, their only source of happiness. So it means differently. Now, I'm excluding Nuevo Leon. If people don't know Nuevo Leon, it's a state in Mexico that's very wealthy. There's a lot of business there, manufacturing and what costs. So this is like the rich area of Mexico. But
Sir, for the record, it is the second largest industrial city in Mexico.
There you go.
They
So
have Tesla, they have SpaceX, they have everything. Is one of the fastest growing economies in Mexico at the moment.
absolutely. So I mean, it's a little bit different there. You did see a lot of pink in the stadiums today, which is an absolute disgrace. Oof. And I think that they were expecting. When Messi goes in the United States and he goes from city to city, he goes to LA, he goes to all these cities. It's like the red carpet and everyone starts cheering, and you actually see more fans rooting for Messi away than you do anywhere, And in Mexico, we did see a little bit of that. We did see, before the games, like them landing in Mexico, you did see a lot of Messi fans, a lot of people looking. But when the game kicked off, bro, it was intense. You heard the boos every time he touched the ball. And I don't think they weren't ready for that. They weren't expecting that. They're like, whoa, what is this? I thought we were, I thought this place was friendly. It's like, not the case, bro.
Not the case at all. Even better yet was what you didn't hear, which has been coming out in Twitter and like in the socials, is the whole stadium singing "Messi se la come" the whole fucking time. When he touches the ball, the whole time that he's there, they're just singing "Messi se la come, Messi se la come," just over and over again, twisting that knife. But before we get too far into it, let me take out my nopal from my back pocket and put it on the fucking table y decirles, miren cabrones, chinguen a su puta madre cada uno de ustedes que fue al estadio con una camiseta de Argentina, con una camiseta de Messi. ¿Sabes qué, cabrón? No te quiero en país y vete a la verga. ¿Ok?
Yeah.
Like, no mames, güey. El mejor padre que estuvo ahí fue el señor que llevó a su niño y que el cabrón tenía una camiseta de Cristiano Ronaldo. Ese güey sí es un buen papá. Ese cabrón es el que yo le quiero comprar un pinche 20 de cervezas. ¿Verdad? Que chinguen su madre todos los demás.
Yeah. And real quick, we have a lot of new listeners here. I did infiltrate the MLS Discord and said, hey, we want to hear from your side too. We want to hear the excuses. We want to hear what's going on the MLS side of things, on the Messi side of things. I want to know why they fall short every single time. We hear the typical excuses. Hey, we have salary restrictions. We can only go over a certain cap. That's not the case in Mexico. If we had an unlimited amount of money, we could build a super team. We also hear excuses. What's the other excuses that they've been throwing out? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. Request to speak. We have Ricardo joining us. Ricardo, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's hear it, bro.
Like you just said, the excuses are flowing like a fine wine, like the wine Azcárraga drank after we lifted the 18. So many excuses. Well, what about the League's Cup? What about the League's Cup?
Hey, the League's Cup is in a bubble. We make sure that it's a safe environment for everybody. It's exclusively held on U.S. soil, and it's fair. That's fair, right?
You get kicked out for calling someone a puto.
Listen, this was painfully obvious to see. I've never seen a Miami game. I don't watch MLS. That's for dorks. That's for putitos. I don't watch that shit. It was look, this whole agenda to try and another excuse that they're throwing out there, Jaime. But what about the national team? What about the national team? People like there's this crazy Nazi World War II agenda going on right now. They're trying to force MLS down everyone's throat, and that's its ultimate. That's why they ultimately fail because they only want to play at home. They're home FC. When you got to take them away from their artificial away home environment, they don't function. They got their shit pushed in, and like you said, everyone's the excuses are coming out of the woodwork, but it's just disgusting, honestly. And if you're an MLS fan, if you're an MLS fan, you should probably off yourself, kill yourself. You're a fucking plague to the world.
Hey man, you gotta take it easy. They're gonna host the World Cup in 2 years. You gotta give them something. You gotta give them something. They're still a young league. They're still trying to get their sea legs, dude.
I don't buy it. Never. I've never bought it. You can't convince me that th- like everything everything MLS stands for and what surrounds MLS is ultimately going to cripple everything that Mexico has going on, be it the league, be it the national team. But you guys are going to see the TV shows, the bought off commentators, and they're all going to say the same thing. They're going to bring up the League's Cup as an excuse, the calendar as an excuse, uh, their own restrictions that they put on their league. They're going to use everything just to diminish what. Well, like I've always said, man. Whenever an MLS team wins it, like, well, what was it, the Seattle Super Putos when they won it? It was the biggest. It was the biggest cup in the world. It was the Champions League and the Libertadores combined. But the following year, when León won it, not a peep. And this is just another example of that.
We want to hear from you guys on the MLS side of things, or new voices. Again, we're on Twitter Spaces, request to speak. We want to hear from you guys. Jonathan Pulido on YouTube says, I listen to quite a few English podcasts. They all ride the MLSD. Shit's weird. Thanks, Jonathan, for coming in on YouTube. Yes, I mean, you have to build this narrative, right? I mean, I don't know. Did you guys check the game in TUDN or did you guys watch it on FS1? I kind of like forgot to check the English stream, but I know that they were pumping out those excuses. I know Alexis Lalas was probably crying, and always it's the same thing.
Oh, he was.
I hope his ass bled.
You know what, bro? After that spanking, it was almost as red as his hair. Like it was close enough. Now here's the thing: I watched it on FS1 just for that same thing, right? I wanted to hear the other side of the argument. Most of all, I wanted to hear the tears hitting the mic while they were getting fist fucked. So that's what I got to enjoy for a second. Now, one of the things that I will say is that Alexis Lawless said it himself. He was like, "Yo, the problem isn't so much okay, yes, the salary cap is a little bit of an issue, but it's not that much because these players that we're getting, these Jordi Alba, Messi, Luis Suarez, all of these high caliber players who still are taking a large chunk of money and still have that talent, they're not performing. So therefore, what is happening here? The other thing that happened was that he did place the blame directly on Tata by stating you were losing by the first half. You went into halftime and made zero changes. You looked at your bench and said, "Nah, fuck it. Nothing that's there can help me with this ass whooping."
I'm so glad that people who were unfamiliar with Tata Martino's tactics are now knowing the pain that we had for 4 years when he was the coach of the Mexican national team. This guy is a fucking bum. He was absolutely trash today, made no adjustments whatsoever, and left everyone on the bench. Like, he is to blame for this failure. And I don't know how much influence Messi has on this team. Obviously, he's brought in his bums from Barcelona over here, but it's not suffice, bro.
Neta, güey, sí, porque cuando Monterrey metió ese primer gol y el hijo de su puta madre agarró una botella de agua y la abrió bien nervioso y la tomó, dije, no, ese güey no vale verga y no va a hacer nada todo el pinche partido. Like, I've seen that face. I've seen that fucking coward look in his eyes, and fucking Messi FC is fucked. Like, they're not going to come back from this. And said and done, right?
He's a pure offensive player. What I saw the first leg and the second leg. The guy just whenever he has the ball, he'll push forward. But he's at that age and he's of the mindset he's not gonna track back. So it was crazy for anyone to think that they were gonna beat Monterrey. But that Berterame goal was a beauty. That
Oh,
was an excellent goal.
the first goal.
No, the what was it? It was the
Second
second,
best
wasn't
that
it?
I goal.
Second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a great game. For Monterrey's sake, I think that they're kind of like Heckle and Jide, bro. Like they have these, they were in first place in Liga MX, and Chivas upset them and beat them, and we're like, yo, is this team real, or are they fake? Like can't tell if they're legit or not. And today I think they showed that they're worthy of making it to the semifinals.
Honestly, I had my doubts about them too. I was like, yo, is Monterrey actually going to show up to ball out this year? Because in the past, they've been leaders, they've been high up in the table and still shit the bed in this competition. But no, they performed. They did their job. They did it well, and I am proud of them.
Wait, but how much credit are you gonna give Monterrey? Let's not forget they got a bunch of fucking retirees on their team. Oh, Inter Miami or whatever they're called.
I mean, I'll give them enough credit to be able to win out a game where the officiating was against them, where a lot of the minor details were against them, and they had to go out and close out a game.
But are they favorites against in the next? Are they favorites to win it all, or are they favorites to beat the upcoming MLS team?
It depends, man. It depends how it goes down. Because here's what I'll tell you: if it shakes down the way that we all know it's going to happen, aka Ranchuca is going to beat the shit out of America, then I think Monterrey can win it. If America goes through and so does Columbus, America has it in the bag.
People are saying that Don Garber needs to start loosening roster restrictions if we want MLS clubs to compete internationally.
I mean, they're not wrong. It's the conversation that's been had for the last 3 years. Y espérate, antes que nada, hey chavos, todos los que están aquí que son nuevos, también somos bilingües, o díganos qué pedo con el partido y cómo les vio.
Yeah. Again, we want to hear from you guys. There's some funny comments, bro. This game looks like a big ass gender reveal party because of the blue and pink on the sidelines. I love it. And for the new Messi fans who are newly supporting Inter Miami, guys, do not freak out. They're not eliminated from the MLS. The season is still going. So this is just a separate tournament where the big boys play. And I know there's a lot of like new fans out there supporting Messi FC, so they think that their whole season's over. Just had to clarify that, guys. There's still MLS games going on. This is the big boys league. This is the Champions League, man. Not for the faint of heart.
So it is over then.
Oh, why do you say that? What's their record in MLS?
Um, you said it yourself. It's the big boys league. The where they play at doesn't matter, and they don't exist.
All right.
They might as well just pack it home, man.
So there was 23 goals scored from Liga MX in these matchups. And I have to ask you guys, how the fuck does Philadelphia Union earn a Club World Cup ticket if Monterrey wins this entire thing? That makes absolutely no logical sense, bro.
How the fuck are they ranked ahead of America in the quotation marks CONCACAF standings or rankings? What do they do?
I just need to understand that, because for those that don't understand what is at stake here with the Champions Cup, the winners of this tournament go to the Club World Cup, which has been expanded to 32 teams. 12 of those teams are going to be coming from Europe, and only 4 teams are going to be coming from the North American region, CONCACAF region. 3 have already secured their ticket. They are the winners of the last 3 Champions Leagues in CONCACAF, and then the fourth ticket goes to the winner of this tournament. However, if Monterrey wins this cup, they've already qualified to the Club World Cup. It would go to the next highest ranking team, which happens to be Philadelphia Union. It makes no fucking sense, bro.
Wait,
The fix is in, boys.
I was one that I was personally misinformed. Whenever you guys and I've seen other people mention the Club World Cup, and honestly, I was of the mindset I was like I could not give two fucks about it. But then I read an article yesterday. I didn't know there was a 50 million for every team that attends it.
A la verga. 50 million just to attend?
50 million.
Nah, you're lying, bro.
Isn't it the shared revenue 1 point something billion that they were saying?
Wait,
No
32,
mames.
32 clubs, 50 million? You're lying, bro.
Look it up, man. That's what I read.
Post the article.
Yep, that's 1.6. I mean, the math works out. 50 million to go to the Club World Cup? I know that they had postponed it for a couple years. So, I mean, I don't know if they just had a giant pool of money that they were waiting to give out to incentivize clubs to go to this thing, which makes it even more unfair for a team to qualify off of a skewed ranking. Like, what has Philly done? What have they accomplished to even merit going to the Club World Cup? It should at least go to the runner-up who wins this year. It makes no sense. And so there's 31 teams. There is one team that they haven't determined how they're going to qualify to the Club World Cup, but because it's being hosted in the States, I'm assuming that's probably going to go to an MLS team. And that's probably going to be Messi FC. They'll find some way. They'll find some way of like getting him in there because they want it. They want Messi at this Club World Cup. I don't know if that's going to mean winning the MLS Cup and winning back-to-back leagues cups. Whatever they need to do to get Messi in this Club World Cup, I'm sure they'll find a way. And unfortunately, today was not the case. Monterrey killed that dream, killed that narrative. Even the coach before this game kicked off said, hey, we won't be surprised if Messi influences this result, right? And Messi was looking for the coach after that first game, bro. He in the locker rooms, he was wanting to fight this guy.
Oh, they were acting like little bitches. Messi, that Alba, they were all acting like little bitches.
Yeah, because they were all butthurt about what Thanos said, which was just the truth. It's like, hey, we all know, and you just mentioned it. I mean, it's like, yo, there's greater forces at play, and everyone understands the money draw that is generated by Messi. So therefore, everyone's trying to have Messi go. Like, hey guys, why did Mexico win that game against Costa Rica when it was like really crucial for us to win? Because I feel like we played way longer than regulation. Like, what happened? Oh yeah, we need certain teams to go through. Hey, if Mexico and the U.S. don't play in the Nations League final, guess what? No one fucking goes. So therefore,
go ahead.
yeah.
Oh,
no, that's it, man. That's all Tano was saying.
That's what I wanted to mention. This is a fucking master class. Kudos. This is a fucking master class of the dark arts by Tano. He put it out there before the series even started. Oh, watch out for Messi. Oh, he's just another player. He got into not only their heads, they got into Tata's head. It is a genius move. Classic Sudaka tactics. and Sudaka on Sudaka crime, and they fell for it. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Genius move by him.
40 chess play move. Bob in the tweet says, okay, but what happened with the great MLS? Farmers League squared. Thanks for your comment, Bob, on Twitter. Again, if you guys aren't brave enough to request to speak, we have other ways of reading your comments. We're on YouTube. And we also, you can just reply to this Twitter Spaces, and we'll read them out. There was one thing that I do want to acknowledge tonight, that Monterrey and that stadium are absolutely ready for a World Cup match, and I'm very happy that they're gonna have World Cup matches in 2026. What an incredible stadium, and the fans showed up today. I think it's gonna be the gem for the rest of the world that is unfamiliar with Mexico, and also El Acron is ready. The only one that's not ready, Ricardo, is your home, El Azteca. It's still a dump.
Because
It'll be
they're
ready, man.
broke.
It'll be ready.
It'll be ready.
You guys just wait and see.
Ahora, espérate, wait. Before
The
we
Godfather's gonna
break
pull
our
some
arms,
strings.
he already did. He's fucking selling off the team and the stadium to the public so he can fund it, and you still don't have enough money. And now you have to get into putazos con los dueños de palcos because they can't own it. But hey, guess what? Legal paperwork states that they own it. So, a ver cómo te las arreglas, güey, porque no va a pasar.
I will. When you guys come and review the 2026 World Cup, the inauguration game, we'll have this conversation again. But I see Joel's here. I can't wait to see what he's gonna say. I know the MLS pom poms are already out. The excuses, the Pro Leagues Cup rhetoric. Yeah, I already hear it. Come on, I want to hear what he's got to say.
Espérate, güey, espérate. Antes que nos vayamos muy lejos. Also, how are you going to say that El Gigante de Acero is ready for the World Cup? Did you not see that pitch, bro? It was falling apart on its own. There was divots left and right. The whole center field, like where
No, it was bad.
it was horrible.
No, I'm glad you called that out because the pitch was in terrible conditions. They overwatered it. It doesn't allow the roots of the grass to like dig in. It must have been fresh sod, or maybe they just overwatered it. But almost every time there was a hard tackle, it looked like it looked like a golf range out there. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, like look at like right where your CDM or center back stands in both ends. That area was destroyed, dude. That pitch went to shit so quick.
My
Oh, and
understanding is that Mr. Messi doesn't really perform at his best unless he's waiting patiently for a Michelob Ultra.
I have heard that too. You know, everyone likes to drink some piss water every now and then. I guess he does.
Joel's ducking.
I think he's still working, but he wanted to listen. So what does this mean for? Oh, there he is. Joel, how we doing? Welcome to the show, man.
I lured him out.
What's up, gentlemen? I I got to see the third goal from Monterrey. I don't know what the final score was.
Yeah.
Hello?
It was putiza más putiza y más vergazos.
Ended up being three
So
one
it's more than three.
3-1
Oh,
today.
3-1.
5-2 on aggregate.
El de honor. They got to score one.
Joel,
No,
the
I
MLS
heard him talking shit.
the MLS fans
Yeah.
they need a pep talk from you, bro. You need to give them the silver lining of this dominance.
Do you
Why
have your
would
scarf on?
that's Habibi, man. You're confusing me with Habibi, who he goes to games. He wears a Houston shirt under the Chihuahua one. I want the league to do good, but that doesn't mean that I think MLS is better than Liga MX. I think they still have catching up to do. You know, I think it was what we mentioned here already, that the obvious that the League's Cup was misleading, you know, during Liga MX off season, all games in the US. So it was um, not surprising some of the results, but once it's home and home, then you get to see just how much better the Liga MX teams are.
Yeah, I think he, there was some foul play today with some of the tackles on Inter Miami, man. I think like they could have easily been down two men, and I think Messi got off with a slap on the wrist with some of these tackles. I mean, he definitely deserved a yellow at one point. In the end, though, Joel, the dream for Messi to lift a trophy has been crushed, and they will not be going to the Club World Cup next year.
I think it was more the dream of CONCACAF and MLS. Messi has some important trophies, man. I don't think he's losing any sleep. Um, but yeah, I think for the league it would have been huge, uh, just because of the attention he brings. And that's what they're trying to piggyback right off of all of that. Um, they just didn't have a favorable bracket. Disappointed in Tigres. I don't know if you guys talked about Tigres, by them losing that, not losing. Yeah, well, they lost in penalties, but not being able to, beat Columbus. That was disappointing.
I agree. I think that that would have been. I mean, this was a complete dominance by Mexican clubs, and there's always one, right? There's always one that fucks shit up, and that was the little tigers, the little
Hey,
kitty cats.
so did Tigres pull a Shelahu?
Yeah, they absolutely did. But Joel, let me throw some more numbers at you. In these quarterfinals, Liga MX outscored MLS teams 23 goals to 5.
Liga MX teams. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, you know, I don't know why a lot of people let the Leagues Cup persuade them that you always hear the whole the gap is closing thing, and we're seeing it with the selección. There's all this praising the U.S. national team because their players are in Europe and they beat Mexico, or Mexico hasn't been able to beat them in 7 games. And it's like, but they haven't won anything outside of the region. They've yet to do anything significant, and people are getting their panties in a bunch and losing sleep and crying. And it's like, I don't see the whole what the big deal is. I mean, it sucks to lose to them, but it's not like Mexico hit rock bottom, which I keep reading, like in forums or on Twitter. Um, and the same with Liga MX. Although it's scary to think how much stronger Liga MX could really be, because Liga MX not as I don't think it's as strong as it can be.
It
Just
will
because
soon.
of what
It will
it
soon.
will. How, like,
I
how do
shared.
you what?
I don't want to. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I shared with you guys in the chat like a couple weeks ago about the case where the Miami Dolphins owner was suing the USA
Oh,
Soccer.
I know what you're talking about. That
They
they're
settled.
gonna be allowed to play games in the U.S., like
Once that
official league
happens,
games.
because it's gonna happen. Not once it happens, it's gonna happen sooner than later. Once that happens,
Yeah.
the excuse of saying, "Oh, MLS has the live factor. Like people, all the pochos and Mexico fans can go see their favorite quotation mark Mexican player playing MLS. Now they're going to be able to
Well,
see their actual team, and that's what's going to make the
yeah.
fucking Liga MX explode.
Well, I mean, but it's like, how many league games are they gonna play? Do you think America's gonna play half their home
No,
games?
no, no, no,
No, no, nothing like
no,
In
no,
that.
the
no.
U.S.
I think it'll
But
be
but I'm
like,
willing to bet the smaller venue.
yeah.
Like if you're American, you're gonna play, let's say, one of the smaller teams.
No,
Uh,
Querétaro,
I think it will
it'll be
yeah,
be
allowed.
and
It'll be
they'll
allowed.
agree to play it in the U.S. because, dude, they're all gonna make money.
all
So
right.
they're like, fuck it, I'll play my game in the U.S.
Let me give everybody up to speed for those who are unfamiliar with the news and not sure what's going on with that. So, A long time ago there was a proposal from La Liga bringing an official league match to Miami at the Hard Rock.
It
And
wasn't La Liga, Jaime.
oh, what was it?
It was some agency, like some,
It was a
yeah,
promoter similar to Zoom that's owned by the Miami Dolphins. The only reason I
yeah.
gave it any credence was because it's owned by an NFL owner.
Oh,
If it was any other bum, I wouldn't even have mentioned it.
I see.
And
We're scared to.
they
They
proposed it to bring a Barcelona against Girona to Miami,
like
and ultimately it was
an official match from
Yeah.
an official match. And the Spanish Players Union or the federation, they're the ones that shut it down,
right.
not FIFA and not anyone else,
And they retaliated by suing them,
by suing U.S. Soccer and I believe at the same time FIFA.
and they
and
are they
and
winning or they
they
settled?
settled recently,
Oh, they settled.
citing that
Wow.
citing that they'll adjust. They're looking into adjusting their rules.
Yeah.
Look,
And that opens the floodgates. You know, it reminds me of what the NFL does to expand the game, right? They have a couple games a year in El Azteca. They've expanded to London, Sao Paulo. Like they're trying to make this. So I can understand that happening for EPL, for happening for La Liga to grow their audience in the United States. But that opens the floodgates and it becomes a very slippery slope.
I think Premier League will have more trouble hosting games here because I think the way their teams are set up in regards to the fans, the way they sell their tickets.
Yeah,
I've seen someone mention it, so I think that'll be a little tough. And I
that's
think
true.
but
Well, can you guys think, like, would Liga MX bring back Copa MX and then just have all the Copa MX games been played in the US?
That would be a very interesting idea because the whole argument with Copa Mekis is like there's not enough money, right? So
Yeah.
I think if they were to host it here, that would be amazing. But the logistics, right? Like when can you do that? You'd have to do it like in the summer. There's just like a lot of sports in the
You could do
U.S.
preseason, like when they did the
But
Copa por Mexico, I think it
that's
was
what
called.
Leagues
Nah,
Cup
no
is now.
mames, güey. I was about to tell
Right.
you, this nigga don't miss. Pero luego dices mamadas así. No mames, güey. Making it a
But
preseason tournament. Like, I like the
if
idea of
if
doing it in
you
the
want to
U.S.
play,
There's money, there's
but
all
that's
of
the
this.
point to do it in the US.
Pero no
For the,
mames, we can't do it a preseason. That's get wait. I'd rather it be dead than it be a fucking preseason tournament. Like, don't do my boy
there's
like that.
And no one's gonna want to watch, a second division team versus an MLS or a Mexican team. Like, I don't think there's that big of a draw. I will say though, Mexico had a very successful clásico at the Rose Bowl, Chivas America last year. It was like one of the top selling events at that venue, and I think they saw the money and they're like,
no,
we
they've
could.
done this for years, Jaime.
I know, but like, what
Jaime,
if they did that with an official clásico? Like,
that will happen if the thing goes through. That definitely will happen, and you could see it. Maybe both teams coming to an agreement. Like this year, your home game will be in the U.S.
I
and
can
then
see that
next year
happening.
that.
So the reason why I can see this happening specifically for America games is because they are renovating or they're supposed to renovate El Azteca for the World Cup. So I
Oh,
think
not because of that, man. It's gonna be because you could charge what those
well
$500 tickets.
they can use that as the excuse. Hey, we can't play in El Azteca
You don't need an excuse, Jaime. You
because
don't need an
they're
excuse. Man. Come on.
remodeling. We got to get ready for the World Cup. Hey, let's just have our games in LA. That'll be our
No,
home base.
no, man. No excuses needed, man. If you get mad money, and that means you could bring in better players. If you're getting that type of money
Oh,
from having a couple games.
Joel, I don't know if I don't think you had joined the conversation yet, but Ricardo mentioned that the clubs competing in the Club World Cup are receiving $50 million.
I heard him say that, but it's like each. It's it could be. It could be. It's they're
Espérate,
people
espérate,
trying
espérate,
to get this
espérate.
tournament.
espérame, güey. Este es otro clásico. Un pinche caso clásico, güey, de que el pinche Ricardo no sabe leer y no sabe cómo se maneja el dinero.
I was
Están
gonna,
diciendo
I
Eres
was gonna
mal,
let you
güey.
guys
50
finish.
million euros.
Huh?
They're not dollars, they're euros.
50 million euros?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
That's even more
that's
money.
even more money, bro. What the fuck?
Exactly. No, espérate, güey, nomás estoy diciendo que este cabrón no sabe leer. ¿Verdad?
It's
Like,
done.
just
It's
un
done
I'm
like
talking
analfabeta.
facts.
Right
Sí,
now, 1 euro is worth $1.07.
so yeah,
For a
7
grand
cents
total
more.
of 2.6
It went down.
billion euros is the overall purse.
Shit. Well, they're trying to get this to pop off because it's going to be the first one, and they're not doing the confederaciones anymore. So let's see what happens there.
Wow.
Let's see what happens with that FIFA. FIFA clubs, like, I don't know if that's sort of like retaliation for the whole G16 and maybe even Champions League, trying to see if um, they could make this one the main one.
We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I know that the Champions League matches in Europe this week were really entertaining, and I think people want to see more of these matchups. They don't want to see Real Madrid versus Bruges. They want to see Real Madrid versus Man City like every fucking week, right? So I know that they're restructuring the Champions League to be more of like a super league, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's also gonna, again, you go down this slippery slope. You allow some official matches to be played at a neutral site, because they've done that with
But how
in the
if
Middle
you
East.
if you
You know
have
what?
like the clubs World Cup and you have countries like China and India in the billions, and you have their top team playing the Real Madrid. I'm thinking that's gonna be some massive ratings for them for FIFA. Um, just overall.
Oh, I was gonna say like I lost my train of thought there, but I have seen in La Liga. I don't know what it is about La Liga. I think they're broke, but I know that they've had
All of those
official.
Euro teams, Jaime, all of those leagues are broke. That's why I call them Euro poor, because they seems like they have money, but it's like, dude, your main clubs are all owned by
Foreigners.
foreigners. So it's like it's not really yours at this point. It's someone else. Like you're being hoarded out. I'd say
Yeah.
that with all due respect.
Those big money transfers, they take out the big teams like Man City, excluding those guys at Madrid. The other teams, including Barcelona, they got to take out fucking loans to buy the players that
Yeah.
they got. Like that guy, that Portuguese kid that they bought, Madrid. They bought him. He's at I think he's at. What's his name? He played at Benfica.
That Portuguese kid works for me.
Well, yeah, him.
He'll
They
come
took
back.
out Atletico Madrid took out a $250 million loan to get that guy,
Oh,
Wait,
good.
and he
Imagine
didn't
that
do
could
shit.
twist
Joao
his
Felix?
ankle.
Yeah, Joao Felix. There you go. Him.
All right.
Those guys can't afford they're using credit cards to keep an image they don't have.
Well, yeah, and to try to potentially have the next Cristiano or a player of that caliber, at which point they would, it's like a bet. Like they're betting massive amounts on hoping that one of these guys becomes the next best thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm almost certain that La Liga has had official matches in like the Middle East. I know that they've had like club like Copa del Rey finals or shit like that. They've had trophies like official matches being played in neutral sites like that. I think that's interesting. Um, reading some more comments.
Now, espérame, güey, espérame.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before I lose my train of thought y todo lo demás. Now, the big concern here, from one of some of the sources that I've been hearing, and all of these other things, is that the UEFA, right, the UEFA Champions League, is concerned about what's happening with FIFA, MLS, and Liga MX, where they're allowing for games, official games, to be held in different countries, because that's going to mean that, hey, these foreign-owned clubs are going to start getting pulled out of, like, PSG. Hey, you're going to be playing in Saudi now, a couple games. Hey, you're going to Barca and things like that. But really, their big fear that they have in the higher levels of UEFA and all of that is that the Saudi teams will inevitably be able to come over to play at the UEFA Champions, and that's what they're really afraid of, because they're buying up all the talent. They're doing it to the point to where they can build a super team on that side, come over and win the Europa, win UCL. And that's kind of the big concern as to what's going on right now. In fact, that's also one of the reasons why I've been hearing that there's been recently developing quite a bit of pushback into the possibility of Mexico rejoining Liga.
I see.
Wait, what I see is really quick, Jaime. What I could see happening is like a more legit. Did you guys see this? What was it called? International Champions League or something like that. They would do like during the summer.
The ones that they do here in the States?
Yeah, and then you'll see like Manchester, America, Chelsea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
you mean
you
the
see.
games where the whole team was subbed out at
Don't
halftime?
matter. You matter. You still had those. Like I remember seeing Chivas with Atletico and some of
No,
those.
mames, wait. I remember being 12 years old and also wanting to go, but I didn't understand the fact that it was just a preseason game.
Well, I mean, with those things allowed, those type of tournaments start becoming more serious. It's like so. I'm not surprised at that 50 million from FIFA. The thing is that FIFA probably won't be able to do it every year. They probably gonna have to do it like the World Cup, like every 4 years, or something like that. But these tournaments can be held every year. I mean, they could start as summer tourneys. Doesn't really matter. You have to start somehow. But that just means, you can we're gonna get to see some really good football.
Yeah.
I'm
We'll
not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you do that, Joel. I'm not gonna let you off the hook.
Gracias,
You're not gonna let
gracias.
me do what? You don't
Métele un
want to
putazo.
see America
Let, well, I want America to
Arsenal?
shit all over. I want to see my kid go see America push Cruz Azul shit in, Chivas shit in live. That's what I want to see. So yeah, but
But you wouldn't want to see a tournament like and it could be like maybe not official, but it could still be it could be more competitive than if it's just friendly games.
Mira, Joel.
oh,
Mira,
If
mira,
it's
I
mira.
like a
would
big.
love it. But that's not what I was referring to when I said I was gonna let you get away with. I wasn't gonna let you get away with it. What does all this have to do? Why did I bring all this up? If if any of this comes into fruition, it's the fucking stake to the heart of MLS. They
No,
know
it
it.
won't.
Yeah, it will. Oh yes,
No,
it
it
will.
won't.
Definitely, it will.
Hermano, no.
So if there's a game at the same time, if it's
Oh,
Houston
they will in
Putamos
head to head.
against the LAFC Cholos, and there's America against Monterrey at the same time, the America's
No,
gonna sell it out.
it will, but it will also force this league to make changes. And they might have to get rid of some of the dumb shit that keeps them from being stronger. So who knows how it will affect them? But you're dead set on just that final nail in the coffin, just how you thought it was gonna happen to Chivas, and they whooped that ass, and it's and I can see something. I'm not saying they're. I'm not saying
Getting eliminated is
what. No,
Getting
but you thought
eliminated isn't getting
no.
whooping
See,
that asshole.
you were. It is because see, you were expecting a
No,
like a
no, no. You said
humiliating
it.
type.
You said in the chat. Uh, just end it already because there's no reason to play the other leg.
That
You said it.
there's a you
No,
know you
let's
have
stay on
selective
topic, Joel,
amnesia.
this
All
is
right,
classic from you. Your MLS pom pom waiver. They
it's not,
not only do they
dude.
have to worry about Liga MX, those fuckers are gonna have to worry because that same agency they try to bring
Uh,
an
You
Ecuadorian league game to the U.S.
look, but see,
They're
look,
not
I'm gonna tell you my stance just really quick because it's not just for me. Because it opens doors for a lot of people, for everyone. So like if you like you say you have a kid, he has better chances of making it pro playing here, and that's one thing. But there's way more jobs associated with football. So if you're not a soccer player, you could be a coach. I don't mean manager, the coach. Uh, you could be like something affiliated to the team. It could be through like the sports or the it's a lot of jobs. With football, which would be a cool ass fucking job to have if you're working for like a club and you're a scout or something like that. And it's like you're just kind of ignoring all of that and like all those opportunities because you're too much into the rivalry of East versus West,
no
Mex
rivalry,
versus US. But it
no
kind of
rivalry.
is like for me, dude. I benefited a lot through some and all of that because before Soccer United marketing, uh, a lot of the way it was the promotions and the handling was just kind of a mess. And thanks to all of that, I managed to do a lot of shit that I don't think I would have done it. Not just me. I'm pretty sure there's other dudes that got into this, and what happened? What was that? I mean,
I'm
was that
just catching up on all the chat, bro. It's just
oh like the
hilarious.
comments? Yeah, I saw the gender reveal one. That's pretty clever. So, but I mean, overall, dude, it's a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. So it's like that's why I don't want it to fail because it's gonna end up there's going to be a lot of raza that's going to benefit. Even now, there's just so many more, way more like Mexican American players now that dude does their career just to play. Uh, those guys, if there was no MLS, a lot of them they weren't going to make it to Liga MX, and they would have what just been playing college ball. That would have been their highlight. So
I
that's
understand your
been
optimism, Joel. Believe me, I do. But I'm gonna ask you a simple question in front of the entire world. If there
okay.
if this thing goes through, which it will eventually, there's eventually going to be times where games overlap or they're playing it they're very close to each other. Are Pocho kids going to watch a Liga MX game from a big team, or Sudacas in Florida going to watch a Brazilian game at the same time that they're going to host in Florida? Or fucking other Sudacas from Ecuador on the East Coast, are they going to watch an MLS game while Sudaca Barcelona plays Independiente del Valle, and at the same time while there's an game going on? You really believe that's going to happen?
No, not at first, at least. But I mean, they have right here like enough to work with. So, and like I said, they're gonna be forced to change. They can't keep their same like structure or system, and I hope to survive like that since it's currently not working. But it has allowed them to uh, to expand. Like if you saw how it was during North American Soccer League, where at one point they had like all the top players. Granted, they were up there in age, but you had Pele, you had Cruyff, Beckenbauer, Hugo Sanchez. They do you name it, dude. They had all of those dudes that ended up playing here. But then they were playing like in a large stadium, like Giant Stadium, and if you had 20K it looked empty. Um, but that's not like so much the case anymore. There's like soccer specific stadiums, and a lot of the clubs have like their academies. So it's like way more evolved. So I do think the the league will be like it already was affected just from the get go, from like when it started. So it was like 96, 97, and you kind of had at that time the small dish, and so you already had access to other these other leagues that you didn't before. So if you go, before that, what you would get from football was on Sunday you'll get like one live Liga MX game in Univision, and that was it for soccer on free TV. But once we started seeing like the dish, the satellite, then Fox Sports and all of that, ESPN. You, then we started. You had access to all the leagues, so I do think that hurt them. That definitely hurt them a lot, and it made it difficult for MLS to just to be more popular, or just to get a better foothold. But I mean, they've managed to survive. They managed to survive, dude. They're still here. So this thing does happen. They will have to do something about it, because like you said, yeah, all the people are gonna go for these other teams that are more well known or just play better, or they're more close affiliated to. But but they have enough here, and even in other markets where they could have their own. They're gonna have to build their own culture, because it's not like there's gonna be Ecuadorians in you know I don't know, like Sacramento or somewhere where they might put a team. So they will have something to work with. Just I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Not up to me.
You used a word I like a lot: culture. I
Yeah.
wanted to on Saturday or Sunday. I watched the game, the Premier League game. It was Sheffield United. I forget the other team they're playing. And after the game ended, I had the TV still on, and they have like a little post game show, and they had it over here in the U.S. I think it was in Nashville. All the biggest fucking crowd of USA fans I've ever seen in one place, and none of them had anything in regards to MLS or USA. They they all had Premier League team jerseys on. I get where you're coming from, but these guys are doing the dirty work for the Premier League, and they don't even notice it. My fucking one of my neighbors, I told Jaime a couple podcasts back. I've never seen that fucker, and with even I've never seen him hint that he likes soccer. Then one day I come out, I'm mowing my grass, and the fucker has a Manchester City jersey on. They love they love the Premier League culture, and they'll never have that. That's where they're fucked.
No, they
And that
won't. But that doesn't mean
I
they
got the
can't have
nail gun.
something else.
I got the
Yeah.
nail gun.
Oh shit.
Nail MLS to the fucking floor and Leagues Cup on top while you're at it. Because that's another
Damn.
thing I wanted to mention real quick, Hole. If this does go through, the Leagues Cup is rendered futile. It's useless.
Well,
But
that's what I'm
what
saying.
would be the
Leaks
benefit of having the
because
Leagues Cup?
you could add teams from other countries.
But that's already going to
You
happen if
still
this
got
thing
South
goes through.
American teams.
They can play their
I
own
mean,
games.
but that's no, but this it's better organized through over here.
They'll get their own
Like,
promoter like
okay,
soon.
who's the biggest draw?
In the U.S.,
Yes,
everything regarding Mexico and Premier League.
exactly. So if you already have, like, let's say they have some partnership for Leagues Cup, so then these other teams aren't gonna want to go against Mex. They could either join them and then have the main attraction cup, as opposed to like a side one where, because South America, it's only going to be the really big name clubs, right? Just like Boca, River, Flamengo. The other teams won't won't draw nowhere near, Colo Colo or
Oh,
um,
oh no, I'm
Olympia or
referring
any.
to like you said, the big team, the big clubs, only the big clubs. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but see, even them, who are they gonna play? You know what I mean? Right now, they're a big attraction because you don't see them as often. But if they were coming every year, they better guarantee a big rival, or else it's gonna kind of wear off.
They'll
So
go to the tropical areas in this country and they'll fill it out, man. I have a Brazilian friend in Miami. They had like a Flamingo game the other a little while back, and they fucking sold that. They sold that game out.
I'm
There's
telling
other
you right
types of
now
fans,
because
man.
it's not that common. But if it
And once this
became more,
thing goes through, it's gonna be common. That's what I'm saying. I think you're overestimating the MLS's and I don't think they're as ambitious as you think they are.
no, I'm saying they're gonna have to change, but I'm saying it could benefit them. Cause so I'm like in the fence with it. Well, as far as for you, it's like it's gonna happen. Like with
It'll
you,
happen.
it's like you're see that's the only difference. I'm not saying it can happen. It could
No, you
definitely happen. But
well,
I'm
you think
saying
it
they
doesn't?
have a
Your gut
chance.
feeling, it doesn't happen.
No, I don't know. You never know, dude. You could go the
No,
other
but
way.
if you had to bet on it, do you think it happens? Keep in
I don't
mind
know.
that the Libertadores it was
50-50,
already
dude.
played overseas. The antitrust laws in this country. You think it won't happen? Keep in regard also the the lawsuit the NCAA that they lost to the. It's a little different, but it's pretty much a similar situation. Do you think it won't happen? I, I'll bet you money it does happen. MLS is a communist organization. That's what it is.
That's gonna be the new soundbite. I love that clip. Wanted to read some of these screen captures I found on Reddit. Uh, this one is from Frankie. This honestly goes back to the DP roster rules. Rayado's roster salary alone dwarfs almost all of MLS teams. With the league limiting itself, it's always going to be a huge uphill battle.
Hey, someone get
Yeah, that's
Nico, that
true.
guy Cantor's son. Somebody get that guy a pacifier. He's crying big time
Oh, is
online.
he?
Oh yeah, get that
Dude
guy a
is a
baby
big mess.
bib, a rattle. He has the excuses. He had him ridden. He had him ridden out before the game even ended, man.
Another comment. This is what happens to your shitty ass teams when there is a proper home and away game without a tournament specifically designed to give you all the advantages. Gap is closing my ass. That is from Ender Nose. Yeah, there's some good comments. There's a lot of
The gap
meltdowns
is
happening.
closing and my ass sort of points. It just I don't know.
No, he forgot to put a
I
comma.
know.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, no, I know what it means. It
yeah.
just those words together, you know.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
No,
Yeah, it's no homo. It's not no homo anymore. It's no Diddy. We're in 2024
no,
now.
man.
Guys, it's been I've been enjoying this. I am upset about Tigres ruining what would have been a perfect Final Four. Liga MX dominance. Now that we have America, Pachuca, Monterrey, and Columbus Crew, who's gonna take it all? Ricardo, I want to hear from you. I know you're not ready for Pachuca upsetting you guys and taking away the opportunity to go to the Club World Cup. I know you're shooketh, bro.
Classic case of people watching the games. I mean, not watching the games and going back on history. Just like before America lifted the 18, what were the excuses then? They don't know how to play Liga. They don't know how to do this and that. They're always choking, right? I don't I don't rate this Pachuca team as much as you guys do. America, they'll win it all, and we'll discuss it whenever they punch their ticket to the Club World Cup and they cash in with that 50 mil or 50 million euro or whatever the the currency is.
By then, it'll probably be Dogecoin. Who knows what happens within the next year? But I don't know, man. I think you're underestimating Pachuca. They've had a great run. Rondo is a beast. He's killing it within Liga MX and in Champions Cup. This is your MVP if Pachuca end up winning the whole thing.
Where's he from? Venezuela?
He's
That's
from
right.
Venezuela. He's a River Plate
Is,
reject, and I kept
is that the
eyes
guy
on
that's
him.
gonna inject Max in the Copa America?
Maybe, yeah.
I'll just send someone in the league to just injure him. Just, not like a harsh injury, just like a
He's 34 too, man.
shit.
Yeah,
Well,
he played a lot in the
toilet.
EPL. He played for a few teams in the EPL. He's been around the block, but he's still scoring goals, man.
In Brazil too.
Fuck, well, yeah.
I don't know, Ricky. He sounded a little nervous, bro. I think that Pachuca takes this.
Is he gonna go into hiding again? Richie, are you gonna disappear?
Again? What do you mean again? When did I hide?
Not too long ago, man. I don't know what was going on. That Chivas win.
What?
You were
You
we
guys
seen
got
it for
eliminated.
weeks, bro.
What win? You
That,
guys are
but
giving
you still
Chivas
couldn't get
credit.
it. That was the surprising thing. I was like, you can still advance, but I guess it was just like
So
it tainted your win, you know. I'm
the same thing happened in the semifinal when America they lost to San Luis. Because how do you motivate a team that's up 5-0? Same situation here. How do you motivate a team that's 3-0 already?
it's motivation.
Yeah, I will say whoever wins it out of that bracket will win the whole thing. I don't think Monterrey or Columbus Crew will win the tournament.
You know, I think Monterrey has what it takes to win it. Or,
I agree. I do think that they'll probably beat Columbus Crew, but I still think that the other side of the bracket is much better.
probably, Jaime, you rate Columbus that high?
What do you mean?
And Herediano too.
I think no, I'm just saying like whoever wins Pachuca America wins the whole thing.
Ah, okay. You rate those teams way higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel you. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
But I would be worried if they face Monterrey because even though Miami is a bum ass team, they've had a little bit more a tougher time getting to the final. I mean, America had to play bums like Esteli, Chivas, and the New England Patriots too.
You guys haven't been tested yet. That's why I think Pachuca is gonna punch you in the face and you're gonna forget how to fight.
They haven't been tested either, man. Who did they beat? The Costa Rica's finest?
Yeah, but in league, you guys lost to them.
We're missing a bunch of players.
I don't know, my
2-1.
guy. I don't know.
They missed a lot of shots too. I'm not ready to crown these guys just because. I mean,
Wow, here he comes with
they
the
got a good
fucking
team,
COVID
but
excuse, huh?
COVID
Yeah, that's what your players had. That's why Pachuca beat the shit out of them not too long ago.
2-1 is beating the shit out of someone.
Yo, did you not watch the game? They
I
embarrassed
watched
you.
it. 2-1 is not 7-0 is beating the shit out of someone.
Mira, señor, hay
2-1
formas.
is just losing a game. Just you sound like Joel when they beat America 3-2, but they lost on aggregate 5-3.
I will say these numbers are impressive. A lot of heavyweights in these semifinals. Monterrey has 5 titles in this Champions Cup. They won it in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2019, and 2021. They've been fucking consistent. Pachuca also has 5. 2002, 2007, 2008, 2010, 2017. And America is the leader with 7 titles. 1997, 1987, 1990, 1992, 2006, 2015, 2016. So America has not won it in a long time. They were runners up in 2021. They lost to Monterrey in the final.
And
Foreshadowing.
Tum, tum.
and Chivas literally gave up against, what was it, a Robin Hood? What was it, Joel? They literally
What?
quit against uh,
Quit. What are you
uh
talking about?
didn't Chivas forfeit a final against Eagles?
No, she was a robbed, dude.
No,
Why you
they
gotta open
forfeited.
those old wounds?
They
No,
forfeited. They
no,
quit.
that's what happened. They got to the final, and it was a from Haitian team, and the team they couldn't get visas for their players, and the game was postponed, and they missed it twice, and so it was awarded to Chivas. So then Chivas leaves to Europe. They go to play in Spain, and while they're in Spain, and this is back when you had to go on a boat and just like Lord of the Rings type of shit, fucking walk for days.
They had to go in a
And
shipping
they're like,
container.
hey, yeah. They're like, hey, we're ready to play now. Someone in fucking CONCACAF decided third time's the charm, even though they had already awarded to Chivas. And she's like, well, where the fuck are we over here? We're not just gonna leave. And so they couldn't play it. So they Concacaf just awarded it to the Haitians. And it was a weird thing. I don't know why. Maybe when they came back, why Chivas didn't maybe try to fight it, or try to get
Yeah.
the match played. But it was never played. Like they didn't even play at all. But I think that team missing twice, dude. Come
Oh,
on, and they
Joel.
still got a third.
It was third.
Yeah.
So it says difficulties in securing passports for racing Haitian players in time for the final caused the match to be postponed 3 times. After Chivas protested at CONCACAF, they were declared champions. But after a counter protest, CONCACAF decided that both legs of the final should be played within 2 months, and they were forced to withdraw because they were on a tour in Europe. So
Oh,
the final
so
was
so they
scratched.
chose the money. They chose the money over the trophy. They gave them a timetable, and they
They
still
were
left.
they were in Europe, dude. They were whooping
So they
ass,
so
putting
they gave
Mexico's
them a
name up
timetable, and they
high.
still left. They quit. They quit against a
Nah, dude,
Haitian
come on,
team.
that's bullshit. They should win that.
That's a
They
joke,
should have
though.
been given that title. Like the other team failed to like secure. Like
Yeah,
that's on them.
they gave him too many opportunities. That's lame, dude.
But I
And
like
it's
that.
You guys quit.
I like that Ricardo's deflecting because he doesn't want to talk about the title they lost in 2021 to Monterrey.
Lost or robbed?
Bro, Ricardo's always deflecting. Pretty soon he's gonna bring up the 2013.
I mean, I've seen three Conca.
It's the
I've
same
seen three
arguments.
Concacaf finals, and I mean, you just live to get your shit pushed about.
We have one. Actually, we have a couple. I think we have three.
You have five, don't you?
Five
No,
what?
six. They have six.
They have
CONCACAF stars.
6. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't even know his own team's history, bro.
Yes, I didn't.
That's
Wait,
that's what
how many
happens.
name?
That's what
How
happens
many
when you watch
name
MLS all
changes?
fucking day.
How many name changes has this tournament
I
had?
know it's gone through a lot.
Don't
See, where
deflect.
it's like,
You don't know
güey,
you don't know your own
¿cuántos
team's
hay?
history.
¿Verdad? Ya, Alvarito, ya, con tu pinche.
Yeah, they keep changing the names. It was Champions Cup, then it was Champions League, now it's Champions Cup again. But yeah, Cruz Azul is the second most successful team with 6 titles.
Gracias.
Did you guys ever
Hey,
beat
Joel.
America in one of those? Or no?
Oh, I'm not sure, bro.
He
I'll be
doesn't know
100%
because it
honest
never
with you.
happened.
It looks like
No, wait, because I grew up poor with over-the-air TV, so Televisa y TV Azteca era todo lo que tenía.
So Cruz Azul last title was in 2014. They beat Toluca.
Beautiful day.
And they beat LA Galaxy in 97. They beat Necaxa in 96. So yeah, those were the last 3 most recent titles. They also lost in 2009 and 2010. So there's that.
I do remember the 2010. Pero lo que yo iba a decir was gonna be like, damn, Coel, tell me that like memory that Ricardo unlocked truly hurt. Way, because like you sounded like if you were watching your wife get fucked by some big negrote, and you're like, no, no.
Yeah. No, it sucked because after that, Chivas did go like 50 years without winning. So that was harsh.
That's
So they
natural.
won it.
That's not.
That really does. It sounds like natural Chivas behavior.
No, 10 years, not 50. Wait. Chivas will go the 10-year before
Don't
the
you guys
Chivas
have two?
comment.
Yeah, we have
Huh?
two.
No, no, yeah, but I'm saying for Chivas to win something, because Chivas and Liga, they kind of showed what they're capable of. So, but with CONCACAF was a bit different, um, just because of the whole 10-year, you know, they're not champions often, so they weren't playing the tournament as often.
They lost that, man. Stop giving them credit for that.
They were, dude, you don't award someone and then say siempre no. It's once that was final, dude. Once they
Yeah,
said,
that's dirty.
there you go, you don't go back.
You know what,
Counter,
Coel?
and then how
Go to
do
the
you allow
reservations.
counter protest? Wait, how do you allow counter protest after you were given three chances, man? That's yeah, tantita madre, güey, yeah.
No, man. If you wanted to, they should have stayed their ass home and waited for it
Nah, dude, they were on a
instead of
Europe
choosing money.
tour. They
Why do
were
they need? Why do they need to go over there
they were
for?
on a bigger. They were on to bigger and better things, bro.
Yeah, they were like Ryu in
They're
Street
gonna
Fighter. You
they're
see
gonna
the
wait
first Street
around for some
Fighter?
Haitians, bro. They ain't gonna wait around
Hey,
for some Haitians. They
hey,
were
For
already.
Jaime,
an official
Jaime,
tournament.
Chivas was like, did you see? Have you played the first Street Fighter? If you finish with Ryu, and it's like, have you seen the ending scene with Ryu and the Street Fighter 2? He's not there. Like you see the podium, second and third place are there, Bison and Saga, and Ryu's not in the first place, and he's walking away with his bag. He's already looking for the next challenge. He didn't care for that trophy, dude. He whooped everyone's ass, and
So
that
you
was
guys are
his trophy. Like,
diminishing an international trophy.
no,
The
Chivas already
things I
what
have to
they
hear.
needed a bigger challenge. Way that's what I meant.
What,
That's what I'm trying to say. That they were out there
no,
looking
they.
for
What bigger
bigger,
challenge?
better, playing
Playing some
Barcelona
Europeans
and
for some money?
Celtic.
But what do they get out of that?
This was back then. Hey, this was back then, uh,
No, no, I
Ricardo. This
understand
was
that, but
back
they.
when football was played by when men were men. That heavy ass ball, it was like 40 pounds, and you still had to hit it. You know, with, there was no red cards, there was no subs. Había putazos y sangre. So it's other times where you you just don't see the glory in that. You're used to the soft one tournament every year thing that you grew up on.
Oh, I grew up on 7 CONCACAF titles and 18 Liga MX titles. That's what I grew up on.
Man, the public school system has failed you, bro, because your math is wrong.
How so?
Where did you get those titles from? Where'd you get those numbers from, bro?
The league started before you guys joined.
Oh my
Right off
god.
with.
You need to
And last
stop.
time I
You need to
checked,
stop pumping up those numbers, bro.
when someone gets paid, that makes you a professional.
Oh wow! So we're taking into account the amateur years, huh?
So if you get paid for something, if you get paid to sweep a street, are you an amateur street sweeper or
See,
are you a
kids.
street sweeper?
See, kids. This is why
Answer.
you don't do drugs. This is why you don't sniff your own farts. Much less eat the paint.
No,
Don't
you
All
you're
right. I
going
don't
know
get
it comes in
high on
different
your own
flavors,
supply.
You see what you
pero
guys are
luego
doing. I get
terminas
it. I get it.
como
You're not gonna
Ricardo.
answer me, and you're just gonna deflect. It's all right.
No, I'm just saying, bro. You need to acknowledge that it's not
No,
acknowledged.
I acknowledge they got paid, and that
Mira,
makes them professional.
mira. All that I'm gonna
If
acknowledge
you
is
guys want
just
to
like
call
you
it
don't know
amateur,
how to read,
that's your
you
problem.
don't know how to do math either.
Well, answer my question first. So, if you get paid to do something, are you professional at doing that or no?
Depends how much you're getting paid.
Oh, there's a limit now.
Fuck yeah, there is. I'm worth something. If I'm getting something below my
what job is there
wage,
a
I'm
salary limit for?
Dude,
Wait, so you saying the guy that gets 25 cents to bring back the
Nah,
shopping
well,
carts
come
is
on,
a
no one
professional?
was getting paid 25. Don't exaggerate. Come on, man.
That was semi-pro. Dude, they get paid. They would pay
Nah,
like $20 and like unos chescos. Wait, there's
that
nothing
doesn't
to what
stop
it
them from
was.
not being professional.
you
wait,
need
but
They
to.
were
forget it's
professional. They guys were still working. They still had side. They still had like main jobs.
NFL
Soccer was
players
the
were still
side
You
working
job.
sometimes,
you
and when they
also
won Super Bowls.
you at least need to subtract one title because bro is not
That's
like,
not. Yeah, it's not real
that wasn't
title.
real,
It's
bro.
FIFA says it's
8
real.
games, dude.
Wait, you guys are
You
gonna
paid for
diminish.
it,
Wait,
so
let me get this straight. You guys are gonna diminish an official title when you guys just went on. You just went on an
it
excuse
wasn't
tour.
official.
It wasn't
But it
official,
wasn't.
bro. It's
I
like
showed you the
Was that
documents, right?
Concacaf
it's
title official?
it's
The
this,
guys, the one you guys went Europe for?
it's as official as when the Houston Astros won the World Series during a COVID year and they had 60 games, or when the
Here comes a twist.
or when the Lakers won the NBA title and it was like a short season. Come on, bro. Those
All right, one question for you guys, and there's one question. Which one was which one was more official, the Prode or the title you guys went to go play? You get the title you guys diminished by going to go play in Europe for some shekels.
Shekels.
which one's more what?
Which one's official?
Neither.
Just playing friendlies, way they weren't playing official title. But brother, look,
So that
one it was
you're
called
telling me that
Prode.
Concacaf title wasn't official? It's an
What?
official title. That team
Oh,
has
you
it
said it
in
wrong. You
their.
said it wrong. You mean yeah, but they already won it, dude. What?
So no,
Why
no,
are
that's
we
what I'm saying.
revisiting this?
So is it an official title or no?
Which one?
The one you guys went to go play, the one you guys gave up on and went to go play in
Ah,
FIFA.
the one que va. Well, yeah, it's official. That one's
All three.
official.
So you guys are gonna tell me that's an official title, but the Pro Day isn't. The one you guys quit on.
It's not. It's
Chivas
brother.
fans don't have any right to say
Look,
which title is official or not.
I, okay, look, because this can be verified. This can be verified. The president at the time, he said that the Pro Day was not an official tournament. This was the FMF, the Liga MX president. He said this is not an official tournament. They weren't going to play it. Pro Day put money so the teams could. That's why it's called Pro Day.
What is even pro
And
day? Are they like political?
pronósticos deportivos. No,
Oh.
like caliente is betting. Pronósticos
Oh my
deportivos. So it
god.
was.
Even more of a fucking
Okay,
joke.
Who's the governing
here's
bar?
and
Who's the governing
here's.
body for soccer?
Hold on, wait, hold on, dude. So they made a separate trophy. So you could look in America's trophy cabinet, and the Pro Day trophy is not the regular league trophy. It's a different trophy.
So you guys are gonna tell me, let me get this straight. You
Well,
guys have only
America
seen like
won
3
it fair
titles in
and
your
square,
lives.
but then they pushed to make it. They pushed to make it official.
Who pushed?
America,
You got
but it
proof of that?
wasn't when it was. Yeah, yeah, dude, I've shown it many times.
When
Yeah,
Who's the governing body for soccer hall?
when was it acknowledged?
it's FIFA.
FIFA, right?
Just not,
No, but what
dude. There's even an interview with the president. He even talks about this. They interviewed the Rafa Ramos interviews the guy who was the president. He interviewed and he talks about how it all went down. How and you could find newspaper after the win saying this was not the league. The league is going to be resumed. I mean, dude, just the fact that you're not getting the regular trophy says it all. It's a different trophy. It's a smaller one.
All right, I want to know when it was acknowledged as an official title. What year?
Wait,
I,
before we go to that.
I need to
Wait,
check
before we
on
go
that.
to that, real
I,
quick. Hello, you're bringing up interviews. So if I bring up an interview to you, we're in the live TV broadcast of a game. Commentators are saying America has a certain number of titles. Are you going to say it's fake news or it's real?
okay, depends who's saying it because this is not
Oh,
just
here we
any
go.
guy.
Here we go.
This is the dude. This was the
You're
president
going
at
to
the
blame
time.
Televisa, right?
No,
If it's Televisa, it doesn't
this is
count.
the dude. It's this is the president. He's not a reporter. He's not. He wasn't a just any random dude. He was the actual Liga MX, the the president at the time the tournament was played.
Oh,
And
so
there's
you go ahead.
He has the authority of it. Why? How?
So
And
you're
that
saying
was
those
what the
guys are
league had
lying then?
decided.
If
Who
if
was
I show
lying?
you an interview where those guys saying America has a certain number of titles during a game, are you saying that they're lying?
Well, because it was made official, so then you have to count it now as such. But even if you look in your own thing, you always have that asterisk. It's always going to be there. It's like herpes. It doesn't go away. So it's going to have that asterisk. So if it was regular league title, you don't got to put any little marks next to it. Wait.
No, but if I show you an interview where there's commentators saying America has a certain number of titles, are you telling me they're lying? See or no?
Well, they're not lying because it was made official.
So then
So
America has eight.
technically, they're
All
not.
right. Well, we'll go by your. I'll take your advice then. America has 17 titles. There you go. I got the
So now
interview.
you're counting the with the semi-pro, the
No,
amateur.
no, no, no.
No,
You don't get to decide what's semi-pro ball. If you're
oh,
getting paid, you're a professional. Look, that's
not really. Wait, not.
no. I got the perfect example for you. If just give me a little bit of time, I'll give you another example in a sport. There's a boxer called Jojo Diaz. Before he turned pro, he was a well thought of amateur for the U.S. He fought before he turned pro in a competition called the World Series of Boxing. Let me tell you what that is. A bunch of countries and their national teams, they face off against each other without headgear, right? And they were getting whenever you fight without headgear and certain ounce gloves, and you're getting paid, you're considered professional. And all those things happened in that competition. He didn't have headgear. His gloves were, I believe, 12 ounces, and he got paid for that. And when he turned pro, he lost a couple of fights there. Those fights, there's a big controversy because they were saying he was so amateur, quotation marks, but he filled out the criteria of a professional. So when he turned pro, he already had two losses. It's the same situation here. Those guys got paid. That makes them professional.
No, man.
I know it hurts you guys. You
No,
guys only
dude.
seen two titles.
They literally
I'm not
played
convincing
eight
no one
fucking
with that.
games, bro. They played 8 fucking games.
The World Cup was at one time 8 games.
Bro, 8 fucking games. How is that merit a star on your crest? Go fuck yourself, dude.
You guys are just have revisionist history. You guys are living in the moment because your team sucks.
Bro, I just think that the America were starting to get overtaken in titles by all these other clubs, and they went into a panic and they're like, what can we claim as a title? And they went back and they looked at Brode and they're like, we're going to turn this into an official title
Well, Cruz
acknowledged by
Azul.
FIFA.
Well, you had the Cruz Azul golden years, and then after that, by this point they had won, and they were trying to also do that, like win, like three-peat and all of that. So then when they win that tourney, they're like, well, let's just add it. We already won it. Let's just make it, and then we just need to win one more, kind of thing.
You guys are making America. When was America bought by Televisa? I mean, you guys are
No,
going
dude,
way back. You guys are giving
like in the
America power.
50s, I think it was like in the 50s.
It's the 60s.
They bought it from Jarritos.
Yes. So
They
you're
were
telling me
powerful. America,
you're
the
telling me
club,
they
was
were
not powerful.
you're telling me they
Televisa
were
was
powerful all the
powerful.
way back then? This
When
is just
Televisa takes over, yes,
no. But
that's
Jaime said that the fans are just that America had to go back because every team was surpassing them. You're telling me they had power back then before Televisa?
What do you mean before? Bro, they 85. That was an 85,
Oh,
bro.
you're mentioning Brode, right?
Yeah.
I got an interview for you and for Joel where there's commentators saying America has a certain number of titles. If it's before, and I think it's before Brode. What do you have to say about that?
All I know is that in 1985, they had 5 titles
According to who?
and they had 5 titles. Like the team history in their history had only had 5 titles and they were getting surpassed by other clubs, and I'm guessing that's where they decided to say we won back-to-back championships in 1984, 85, and then Pro 85. Like they tried to sneak that in there.
FIFA recognizes it as an official title. What do you
Yeah, I mean,
guys
I'm sure they
missing?
got their money's worth. I'm sure they got a nice check for doing that, dude.
This is the traumatization. The
I'm
Chivas
just
fans are
saying,
so
bro. If you're
traumatized.
gonna gloat and stomp on your chest and say we're the best team in Liga MX, then
Liga MX and CONCACAF.
you can afford to say, you know what, we've been fucking with you guys this whole time. That's not really that's not a real tournament. We'll win another one just to prove you guys wrong.
Let me just say this, and if you guys want to move on, it's crazy to hear you guys diminish everything about America. Yeah, America has the most continental titles for this area, and you guys diminished one
No,
by choosing money instead. That's just crazy to me. No matter how you want to flip it, that they had to wait 3 months, this and that. You guys diminished the title. If you wanted to win it, you should have waited. America,
that's a different argument though. There's no one arguing that America is not like the biggest club in North America. Like
no,
they have
but
the time.
Joel said it wasn't.
They have
Joel said it wasn't an important title.
no
He
like
said that they
I'm
went
not
on to bigger and better things.
I'm not delusional, bro. I do acknowledge America. Like, if you were to just go like titles, like numbers don't lie, bro. Like, you guys obviously have the most titles in this region. You have to acknowledge that. But you have to also acknowledge that one of them, you got to put a little asterisk next to it. Come on, bro. And we would have,
All right, well, we got 17 then.
and we were like, you know what? We don't even give a fuck about this. You guys can have it. Here you go. If it makes you feel better, if it helps you sleep at night, we don't need.
Who's we? What pull does Chivas have in any of this?
That's what I'm saying. Chivas are so big that they didn't even fucking sweat over an official tournament. They gave it to it was like charity to them. Like, dude, we are winning. We're killing everything, bro.
Oh,
You guys want this fucking trophy? If it makes you feel better, here, you can fucking have it. We're not even gonna go to this game. It doesn't mean shit to us. We're in Europe, bro. We're over here worldwide. Fuck you guys. You guys can have
so
this.
you diminished it. You're admitting you guys diminished it.
I'm just saying we can afford to give away a title, and you guys are over here clinging on to whatever you can put your dick on. Come on, dude. Bro is a fucking joke, dude.
I just wanted to hear that you guys diminished it. And that's all I wanted
I'm
to hear.
just saying, we can afford to be like, you can have this fucking, if it means the world to you, you can fucking have it, because we don't have that small club mentality, bro.
All right, so you're the biggest team in Mexico, yet you don't have the most titles in the area?
We are bigger.
How does that work?
Porque ellos juegan otra grandeza, acuérdate, güey. Ellos juegan a jugar con puros mexicanos.
You're right.
Como dijo Dreyfus.
You're right. Titles must mean double. If I hire a crew of guys to pick up shit, and there's another crew of guys that are all Mexican, they're doing a better job just because they're Mexican.
Look,
Chivas, that's right. You already know it. Mira, güey, un morenito vale dos gringos.
Dude, I'm telling you, at one point,
fielding nothing but fucking beaners. You got it.
At one point, Chivas are gonna claim that. They're gonna be like, you know what? We won with only Mexicans. That counts for 2. Just wait. We're gonna do that shit.
Bro, you guys are already claiming it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Club mentality. Not winning every
small club mentality. We're just matching you guys for trying to claim a title that was only 8 fucking games, bro.
So what's the limit? How many teams did it have to be in order to satisfy?
I'm just saying you have to play every fucking team in the league.
At the very fucking least, for you to be like, yeah, we got a good season.
Might as well make it 40. Might as well make it 50.
Dude,
I mean,
to claim.
No mames, no seas pendejo, güey.
What's the limit? What's the limit? And what are you basing
it on?
Por
lo menos 12 putas jornadas.
America doesn't claim Interliga, bro. I'm surprised they don't claim Interliga as a title.
We got one over you.
Don't give,
we got one of those over you too.
That's the type of guys you are.
Habibi, don't give him ideas.
Interliga on the crest.
Don't give him ideas.
We got one over you too.
Don't give him ideas.
You don't have to give me ideas. The accomplishments right there. We got one over you guys there too.
Oh my god!
And that's what I'm saying.
We got a league.
Hey, bro.
We got a league title over you guys too, but you don't want to mention that.
How about this, bro? I go to Burger King. I get you a crown. You guys can claim that too. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Oh, I'll go to Burger King. No, you can go to Burger King and you'll forget the crown and you'll say it doesn't matter. That's how you sound to me.
I'm just saying, like, if you want it, you can have it, bro. If it makes you feel better, you can have it.
No, look, this conversation started with me bringing up that title. You just admitted yourself you diminished. And Joel said also diminished. And all I'm saying is, where do you get off diminishing someone else's titles when you diminish your own title.
But it's
No,
it's a
wait, no, no,
different
no, no, no.
circumstance.
Espérate.
It's a
This whole
different
conversation
circumstance.
started because you don't know how to count. That's where this conversation
Exactly.
No,
started.
you don't know.
And
you don't know how
then
to
we
read a
had to
dictionary.
Look, bro.
specify
Professional means
why
you're
it is
getting
There's
you don't
a-
have
paid.
to, you don't
And
know
I
how to
gave you
There's
the
a-
count.
example.
And then we had to bring out
Dude.
the abacus and show you
It's
the different values of things.
it's like taking credit for someone else's work, bro. And it's like someone bigger than that will just be like, no, you know what? Let him have it. Let him tell this story. It makes them feel better about themselves. It's cute. It's cute. Like they actually think they're a big club. But for us, we don't care because we already know we are, and we have the numbers to prove it.
2 CONCACAF titles in how many years? Hold, did you say 50?
Hey, leave Joel alone. He's
Whose
driving,
math is
okay?
wrong? Mine or yours?
Nah, I'm just saying, bro. Like, if you guys want to claim pro day, if it makes you, feel better,
All I'm saying is I got interviews of people saying that those titles are legit, and then Joel comes off saying that apparently FIFA isn't the official organization for soccer.
is that broadcast in the same room as you?
It's online. I can share it for you if you want to see it.
Is it Televisa broadcast? Because that
The 85 title was on Televisa. If you want to go see that one on YouTube.
Oh my
The one
god!
you
Mira,
guys
güey,
lost on
dame
Eddie.
nombres. Since obviously you watch these like every night before you go to bed to like convince yourself
Oh, I watched
that
the
they're
7-0.
real.
I pretended my
¿Verdad?
pillow was your face.
Ah.
Yeah, and the 2013 one too,
little
and the
sauce.
20.
Ahí está, ahí
Oh, there you
están.
go.
Ve
There you
los
go.
únicos dos.
And
Fruity
my,
ass dude.
my favorite one was the 7-0 though, not the titles. Whether that
Hey, he has a wife, you know. Like, at least ask her for permission, man.
We have Jonathan Pulido on the YouTube chat. Y'all arguing with the dismissive America fan. Stop wasting your time on the torta lad.
Oh, who's he root for?
I don't know.
I bet your ass is one title in every 10 years Chivas does.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. FIFA chose their goat, Pessy. The people chose their goat, Cristiano. Televisa chose their product, America. The people chose their goat, Chivas. Eres un pinche
Woo!
equipo
Hey,
de
what
plástico.
channel did you
Me la
watch your
pelas,
first Chivas?
puto. Me la pelas.
Hey, what channel did you watch your first Chivas final at? Hey, Miguelito.
That proves my point, motherfucker.
I gotta
We
give
had
you some props.
you. You were.
I
were
Jaime, I gotta
clenching
give
your
you some
cheeks.
props.
You were
You brought
vomiting.
in. I
You
don't
were
know how you got this.
vomiting. You're like,
I
oh
don't know
my
how
god,
you
we
got
gotta
this
show
reunion.
these guys
I
on
don't
our
know how you
channel
got this
playing.
reunion back together. Jaime,
Huh?
I said I don't know how you got this reunion back together, man. Kudos to you. You got the 2 girls 1 cup reunion on the Cantina MX podcast. Habibi and Abigail Abdias.
Hey, you
They
know
got
what's
the
the one cup?
and they're
Your
slurping
mouth.
that
Your
shit.
mouth is the one cup. You
You're
dirty boy.
slurping that shit.
It's about time we had Habibi drunk on the podcast. Jonathan Pulido said the team I root for is your mom. Oh, he's on one
Habibi.
tonight.
Call in. Let me hear your argument. Come
Se
on.
mamó.
Hey, Jonathan
Ah,
Pulido, we're on
yes?
Twitter Spaces, bro. You gotta come.
That bitch doesn't have any arguments.
If he said your mom, then he's probably a Cruz Azul fan because she took 7.
Neta, güey.
Most likely.
Even that's a good one. Puta madre, güey.
Chris Azul just likes to watch.
All I'm doing is presenting arguments, and everyone's getting defensive.
I don't know, bro.
What arguments, bro? We've already explained it to you why amateur.
Oh, I think I lost y'all. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello. Everybody's on mute. Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? Uh-oh. I'm not sure what happened.
Bitches in 1 cup. That guy in the chat, too.
Y'all cut out for a little
Porque
sec.
no, güey. Like, Neta, es la única manera que te hace sentir mejor, ¿verdad, güey? And you're like, no, no, no.
So I'm
I
going
can
off.
remember.
Not sure what's happening, guys. I'm losing my connection over here. Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, can you guys hear me? Sorry, guys. We are having some difficulties on Twitter Spaces just when the conversation was getting a little bit too personal. But we appreciate all the energy, the negative and the positive. That's what we're here for on the Cantina MX Football Podcast. We really do hope everyone joins us on Twitter Spaces. That's where you can actually chime in. And we're also on YouTube. Um, not sure what's going on. Can somebody. Oh, yeah. I think it's me. I'm the problem. Give me one sec, guys. We're going to try and get this rebooted. Hey, not sure what happened, man. The everybody just went silent. Can you hear me?
Everybody left. We got kicked out.
Yeah, it I just like stopped hearing you guys speak and then the thing just like ended on itself. Just when the conversation was getting better too. I don't know what fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
No, wait. We heard Richie's feelings. He's gone.
Oh no, you're lying.
He, no, for reals, way se encabronó. He was like, if you guys are just gonna be fighting with your feelings and emotions, y quién sabe qué, he just dipped out. Le dolió.
Yeah, I'm not surprised from a guy when his team takes an L, he disappears.
Uh,
Same.
But now I gotta be all like weirdo and American and be like, hey, somebody check on his mental health. Hopefully he's okay.
Nah, fuck that, bro. If he can take a dick, he can take a joke. You know how it is.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the Twitter Spaces. Maybe Elon Musk chimed in and said, "No, this is getting a little too personal." But we're still here, you know. Jonathan, I think, was triggering Ricardo a little bit too much in the YouTube chat. I love it though. I need more
For
of it.
real. He spoke about your mom, man. That's a serious trigger right there.
Oh boy.
Bro, you called his mom Cruz Azul for taking 7.
Inches. Black guys.
Oh man,
Neta, güey, that's one of the best ones that I've heard in a long time.
that
Like,
was great. That was beautiful.
congratulations, my dear good sir.
Yeah. Overall, you know, as much as I do enjoy this dominance, you know, 23 outscoring MLS 23 goals to 5. I mean, look, it's nice. It's great to like rub this in their face and humble them. I will say though, it's like we need a bigger challenge. I really wish Liga MX would make an effort to find other tournaments that they can compete in.
Calmate Ron.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying, like, it's we need some more challenges.
No,
Espérate,
we
güey, ve y
definitely.
sácale una pila de one of your fire detectors, and then we can start having this conversation.
No, man, we need more challenges, but it's like we said it before. MLS is just using us to get better. And you know what that means? It means that they're going to fix their salary caps. That's all it means. Tonight, you had a 19-year-old white kid named Allen start for Miami. If you go to his Wikipedia, he played for Miami too, and then now he's playing for the bigger team. Fucking kid makes like 60,000 a fucking week. I mean, 60,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna get to the point where MLS is like, all right, we can't compete internationally. The only thing we can do is spend more money, and the owner's gonna be like, all right, fuck it, let's spend more money, and then you're gonna have your MLS, Monterrey's, America, Tigres, and shit, and then that's when everything's gonna change. Now that's when you're gonna have players that want to live in LA, New York, Miami, and then rookies. You're instead of getting paid 60,000 a season, they're getting paid 300,000 a season, and then that's when it's gonna be over. And then that's when you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are we doing?" Because seriously, that's the Mexican fan, man. That's all they have right now to hang on to, Liga MX. Because obviously, El Tree is shitting the fucking bed against the U.S. national team. That's all we have right now. We're celebrating fucking Monterrey wins, America wins, because Mexico is bending over. And eventually, if they keep it up, all the U.S. has to do is open the checkbook to make their league stronger, increase the salary cap, remove the salary cap,
Do it.
and then it's a shit show.
I would do it. If whatever it takes for them to raise the competition, Liga MX will have to respond with their own. So I mean, it takes two to tango. I think the MLS is, they are handicapped with whatever restrictions they have, but let them open the floodgates. Fuck it, dude.
I want to be honest with y'all. I think tonight was that reckoning of we need to do this because let's be honest, like Inter fucking went and broke the piggy bank to get Messi and everybody else
Yep.
that he needs around him. And yet it wasn't enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? It wasn't enough to ni metieron las manos, güey.
It's enough.
Dude,
It's enough in
have you seen that
MLS,
meme
but
with the
it's not
front
enough.
of the car's a Lamborghini and then the back of the car is like a beat up whatever? That's what it was tonight. Like if you saw, it was like, all right, they got Suarez, Messi, Busquets, Alba, all that shit, but the back is trash. Just the first goal they gave up was trash.
That's typical MLS though.
Yeah,
Like
that's
But
just
the
that's
them.
the
defending
thing.
in the
It's
back is
typical
always
MLS.
ass.
They need to get rid of that, and the only way they can get rid of that is by opening the checkbook.
I mean, where did Cellini play? LAFC.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, they've brought in Yoris, they brought in, some defenders, but they brought in Rafa Marquez. That even if you do, like, you're not gonna get. They're not gonna go out there and try to win the games, bro, or defend. Like, it's just they're there to get a paycheck, dude.
They're already too old.
It's a retirement league,
They're now risking injuries
and
because at
and
that point
also
in their age, those are like fucking lifelong
and
injuries. That like,
and
damn.
look, I'm gonna put my fucking tinfoil hat on and say it is not in America's interest or in MLS's interest to make this a great defensive league. Americans want to see goals. They want to see entertainment. They already hate soccer as it is. It's 45 minutes without any breaks. The least you can do is make it entertaining. So you know what? They don't give a fuck about defending.
God damn it, Jaime. I hate to say it, but yeah, you're fucking right.
oh no, no, no. I'm gonna say fuck you, Jaime, because I said that about the Premier League, and it's not a tinfoil hat. It's a fucking fact. Name me the best defenders in the world. They don't play in the Premier League. The
Van Dyke
Premier
is a great
League
defender. Van Dyke is a world class
was
defender.
motherfucker like 2-3 years ago.
Hey,
Was
don't talk shit about Harry
oh,
Maguire, the best center back. I'm just kidding, bro.
dude, the Premier League does the same fucking thing, and everyone rides the Premier League cock of being the best league in the world. It's not the best league in the world. It's the most entertaining league in the world. And MLS in the sorry, Premier League is an overhyped MLS league. It's done on purpose. Let's put a bunch of goals. Let's make it look like every team has a chance to beat everybody else. But there's no tactics behind it. There's no skill behind it. It's just great attacking players and shitty defenders. And it works.
Be that as
People
it
think it's
may,
amazing.
if we do look at the last couple of Champions League finals, there's been some dominance from England. Liverpool won it in 2019, Chelsea won it in 2021, and Man City won it last year. So, be that as it may, they have been dominating Champions League.
And what did it take? Foreign coaches to come in.
Yeah.
Who came in from where?
Club
That's the most important thing.
Bundesliga, pinche Guardiola, La Liga. And right now, who's running EPL? Klopp, Germany, Bundesliga, Guardiola, Spain, Arteta's, Spain. It's like,
Yeah, everyone's taking the Spanish what is it? The Spanish Inquisition. Everyone's ever since Spain won a World Cup, Euro, World Cup, or was it Euro, World Cup, Euro? It's like everyone and their mom is copying that coaching
I
which,
mean,
style.
everyone loves tiki taka, right?
which
But
goes along with my point. Premier League, bunch of white dudes. MLS, bunch of white dudes. It's always been an overhyped, shitty defender, high attackers, and let's create a bunch of goals. And that's how it is. I mean, if you look at MLS games, most of them, both fucking teams score every fucking game. It's very rare for you to get a 0-0.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like it's a problem that they're not gonna want to fix.
Now, if we're having tinfoil conversations, what I would say more like is most likely to happen is that if the US does remove the salary cap, they will adopt something very similar to what EPL has, to where you need to have certain minutes in international players, something like that, or a top tier team for you to be able to come over unrestricted.
I think it will be how you cannot spend more than what you make, because that's how they do it in the Premier League. Like you can take over a club with oil money, but you cannot spend more than how much your club is actually generating in revenue. That was the issue for Newcastle United, right? They were struggling. They got some oil money. They wanted to go in and play FIFA in real life and buy all these players, and they were like, "You can't because you can't spend more than how much the club is earning." That's kind of how like they make it fair for everybody. So I could see that also happening in the
No,
states.
dog, I'm gonna stop you and cut you off. That's not fair. That's a bullshit rule. You know what's a bullshit rule? Because Newcastle's owners, they're the richest owners in EPL. They have fucking money to spend.
And they
And now
can't
you're
spend
saying
it.
they can't spend it. Why? Because they don't bring in the revenue. But who does that protect? That protects the big teams. How the fuck are you going to become a big team and bring in all the revenue if you're not allowed to bring in the stars and do things to help increase your revenue? It's set in place to protect the big teams because obviously the big teams have the big revenue and obviously the big teams can spend like the portion of that. Fucking Newcastle, they could have the richest owners in the world. They can have the wallet ready to spend, but they can't. Why? To protect the big teams. And even that is a dumbass rule by itself. They say it's to make it fair. It's not to make it fair. It's to protect the big teams. The same thing Liga MX has with whatever you want to call it, el descenso porcentual that they
I
usually
think
have.
I think it's to bring stability to clubs, right? Because you can
Man.
have like
Everton right now, if a rich ass motherfucker bought Everton, why does it matter? He can't spend.
I'm just saying, like, from like the long game, I understand why the federation would want to regulate that because what's stopping somebody from coming in? Let's use Everton for an example. They they're acquired by a rich company owner, whatever, and then they go in there, they spend stupid money, uncapped, and they still don't get the results, and then they just say, "Well, fuck it, we're just gonna leave and abandon the club, and then leave it in worse shape than it was prior to the acquisition." So I think that's why they do it. They want me to ensure like stability. I get it though, man. If you have a lot of money, you got the money to spend it, you should be allowed to do whatever you can with what you got. But there's HOA fees, bro. That's just how the game's played. Um, I do want to play a clip from Tata Martino. He had some shit to say after the game. It seems like he's upset.
De Rayados, porque Rayados tiene mucho aporte a la selección. pero que cuánto importa para la selección nacional que América salga campeón de este torneo y el aporte a selección no es tan importante porque las figuras más notorias son generalmente extranjeras, con lo cual no me parece que sea este, eh, algo que sea muy relevante para la mejora de un torneo, sea del de México, sea el de la MLS, ¿no? Exactamente.
So there it is. Tata Martino saying that we should not be celebrating these victories because these do not hold any merit when it comes to trying to field a competitive national team. What do you guys think about his take? He's obviously still butthurt.
I think that he took words right out of y'all's idol, Chente, y nomás está respirando por la herida, güey. Like, just give him a little bit of time, right? Porque la misma cosa is like, bro, your best players in your team, where are they coming out of? Fucking, what? Spain, Argentina. También, güey, nomás cállate el hocico y ya. Perdiste.
You know, I actually am surprised that he was willing to talk to the press in Mexico after what he did to us in the World Cup. I know that he obviously didn't leave on good terms and that he was trying to get out of Mexico as soon as possible. And now he has to face the music and talk to the Mexican press yet again. And I'm sure he's going to walk away from that press conference saying, I don't want to do this ever again. I don't want to step foot in Mexico.
No, I agree with BS. I think that was more of a reaction like, I don't know why you guys are celebrating. I mean, your national team sucks. Instead of celebrating, like, go look at all your problems. And at the end of the day, my guy, the national team and the league, they're two different stories. Like, the league is not there to feed the national team, whether that's a good thing or it's a bad thing. And the same thing with MLS. Look at fucking U.S. national team players. Fucking, they're born in Holland, they're born in Germany, they're born in France. The MLS is not feeding the U.S. national team. So, and like Abia said, your best players come from abroad. So your team is not doing MLS any favors. It's just
Yeah.
he's just booty hurt. He's just trying like, all right, you guys won, but you guys suck at this kind of reaction. So, so what? Right now, we're not talking about national team buddies.
Yeah.
We're talking about the league, and the league runs fucking MLS.
Yeah. I also don't know the context of that response. I don't know what the reporter asked Tata Martino. But I will say, just taking that out of context, and you know, I think like, unfortunately, that's just how it's done on social media. This is actually a tweet from Fox Sports, so it's not like, you know, I just feel like they're trying to spin it to get ratings and to get reactions. So we don't really know the context of the question and like what the reporter asked, but yeah, Tata Martino, man, I think we can all agree that he proved yet again that he's a fucking fraud, and I'm surprised that it took MLS fans and Inter Miami fans this long to realize that this guy's a fucking bum. Jonathan
Oh,
Pulido.
he's still not gonna realize it though, because he's been appointed by Messi. Like, that's the only reason he's there, and so he's gonna keep the job. It's not gonna be a problem.
Well, that's what
Now,
makes him a fraud. It's because Messi said, "I'm gonna point you, but you let me run the team, bitch."
that's pretty much it. If you heard the reports of like what happened last week in the locker rooms, Messi was the one that was in front of it all, and Tata was just in the back like a good little medium bitch being quiet.
Jonathan Pulido says, I'm just messing around with Ricardo. I just like Chivas, bro. Sorry about your mom handshake. Nah, Pulido, you should have just kept going, man. We don't
Don't
apologize on
apologize.
this.
Yeah, don't apologize. By handshake, you mean you put your fingers up his mom's pussy. Don't.
You do as my great president was said. You grab her right by the pussy.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's been a great podcast, guys. Want to let you guys. I know you guys. Most of you guys are on the East Coast, so I appreciate the energy. Um, any closing thoughts before we wrap up episode 426?
Yeah, bitch, we didn't even talk about la pinche liga y la jornada, pero no hay pedo. Ganó Cruz Azul y eso es lo que importa. Uriel Antuna metió 2 goles para que te mueras de pinche envidia.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys didn't talk about Alexis Vega. He was great form.
Bro, we haven't talked about any of that.
No,
We
I mean, if
spent
you
like
guys,
2 hours fighting with Ricardo.
yeah, if you guys want to, we can talk a little bit about Liga MX. There was match week 14, and yeah, definitely want to. What's your thoughts on Alexis Vega? I feel a certain type of way, but you can take the floor, Habibi.
My thought on Alexis Vega is my thought on most Mexican players is I'm not gonna sell you that bullshit that la camisa de Chivas pesa or anything like that. I just think is that most Mexican players at Chivas is the pinnacle. You know, from training grounds to salary to attention to social media following to reporters, paparazzis after you. Like in that sense, it's the pinnacle. And I think most players, when they arrive to that, they're like, holy shit, I made it. That's it. I'm at the top. And they get comfortable. The only players that don't get comfortable are the ones that want to go to Europe. And you know that they see Chivas as stepping stone, but most players don't see Chivas as stepping stone. They see it as the pinnacle. Like you're gonna tell me that Pocho Guzman, Alexis Vega, Nene Beltran, and so on want to go to Europe, want to play for the biggest teams in Europe? Nah, man. They are more than happy to collect the big bucks and to be at Chivas. And once that happens, once they get comfortable, that's when they start sucking ass. When it happens to anything in life. And once they go to a Toluca or lower team that doesn't have all that shit to offer, they start playing quote unquote better because maybe they're trying to get back to the top, or maybe because they don't have that pressure. Maybe they're just like, hey, nobody talks about me here. The media doesn't follow me. You know, Toluca's in fucking first place of la tabla general. Fucking football picante, they'll give that what, 2 minutes? No one gives a fuck about it. So maybe they play with less pressure. I don't know what it is. But I don't think que la camisa de Chivas pesa. I just think players get comfortable that they reach the top and then they just fall off. And that's why you see that our numbers in Europe are so low. Many players reach their Liga MX top. That's it. That's enough. I made it. I'm good. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you come from the hood, if you come from the ghetto, and now you made it to one of the best teams of your fucking country, and you're getting paid 3, 4 million US dollars a year, more power to you. It's the fans that want to see you better. But if you don't want to do better, who's gonna be mad at you? At the end of the day, you made it.
Yeah, I mean that's a interesting perspective. I think that the relapse, or I mean, what's a redemption for Alexis Vega? You know, he came out of the Toluca cantera, and I think that he was just grateful to that club for opening the doors. And now that he's back home after the whole Chivas pressure and all that, I think that he's, more comfortable now. He's back home and he can just be himself and also, be surrounded by other players that are not Mexican. I don't know what it is about that. Changes the vibe of the locker room and he can relax a little bit and, he's doing great. I do think though that Chivas made the right decision in getting rid of him. I don't think he would have the same season at Chivas, even with Gago, even with the recent additions to the team with like Chicharo and stuff. I just don't think that he would have flourished at Chivas, and I'm glad that he's at Toluca, doing well. Good for him, but he's not gonna return to the national team, and I don't know. He was just one of those players that could have been, but never was. And that's the story for many players that go to Chivas. It's just it shines too bright, bro. They can't live up to the expectations.
Wait, you think of the form that he's playing right now, that he's not returned to the national team?
No.
No way,
Was
dude.
he
He's gonna be on
even?
the next list.
Was he
The next
even?
list, he'll be there.
Was he even on that long ass roster list that uh, Lozano put out? I don't think
He
so.
wasn't, but he wasn't playing like this.
Yeah, I just
I think he was like injured and like barely getting back. But I will say one thing though: the best thing to happen to Alexis Vega and Piojo Alvarado is to be on separate teams, because Piojo is the true number 10. They just don't play him as one.
mm,
Alexis is the number 10 as well. And now that they're out of each other's way, I think it's Piojo's time to shine. And hopefully Gago gives him that 10 role. Because fucking Piojo be doing passes out of his ass like if he was fucking Bofo. And then the next game he's on the fucking wing. That dude's an enganche, man.
yeah. Unfortunately, I was out on Saturday, so I wasn't able to like watch the game live. But I did hear that Piojo had a great match. I saw some memes after the game comparing him to Bolfo. So kudos to Piojo. He's been such a stud for this team. And when you look at the swap when we got rid of Antuna for him at the time, I really was skeptical about him. I didn't really rate him that high. I know that he was doing okay for Cruz Azul, but it's a different beast coming to Chivas. And I think that he's done a respectable job at Chivas. He's been our most consistent player, and yeah, I hope he continues to excel. And I also don't think that we should be doing these kind of trades. Big clubs don't do that. We should have, in a perfect world, we should have kept Antuna and Piojo, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and Piojo's a perfect example of what I was talking about. Like, you're going to tell me that Piojo wants to go to Europe? No, man. That dude is more than constant Liga Mekis, having home his paisas. You can tell he's the jokester of the group. And that's what I'm saying. Like, players need to be realistic with what they want and be happy with what they want. And fans need to be realistic as well. Like Mosso, Mosso has zero business being in Europe. He doesn't have the level to be in Europe, but I think he understands that, and that's what he plays to his strengths. And I think like many fans like get caught up in like if he does amazing, he does well, he'll go to the national team and then he'll go to Europe. No, man, most of these guys don't want to go there, which they should be honest. And that's the problem. If they were honest, they would get crucified. Oh, you're not ambitious, you not have hunger, you not want to succeed. What's wrong with wanting being the best in your domestic league?
Yeah. I also think that you're putting the pussy on the pedestal a little bit. I don't see Europe as this gargantuan impossible task that only the select few I do think that most of these players would land in Europe just fine, but for a lot of factors they don't. And I do think that obviously it is the attitude and the mindset. That's obviously the biggest one. But I also think, these guys would be doing just fine at mid-table clubs in Europe. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a gap. And I know that they just recently interviewed a player that joined America from the Eredivisie, the Dutch league, and he says that the gap is not, it's not as big as people think, and there are things about Liga MX that are a little bit more that are better than the Dutch league. So I don't think that the gap is that big. I know that last podcast we talked about Liga MX ranking number 4 as one of the most viewed leagues in the world. And I think on a good day, Liga MX can easily slide into the top 10 best leagues in the world in terms of quality, competition, salary, um, attendance, and overall TV ratings. Like, it's in the top 10.
I mean, this tournament alone has proven that. We had at a certain point Los Cuatro Grandes at the very top, then the top 10, and it's been fluctuating to the point where I'll be honest, man, like La Tabla General, if that's all you've been watching, you haven't been watching the game, just seeing the way that thing's been moving, it's been moving a lot and it's had a lot of action in it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's competitive.
let me go through it right now, man. I'm not gonna lie, this league has really creeped up on me. We're down to like 3 games, As of right now, Toluca are in first place with 29 points. America in second place, also with 29 points. Monterrey with 28 points. And your Chemos, your Cruz Azul in the fourth spot with 26 points. Do I need another prescription or am I looking at this correctly? Cruz Azul's in fourth place?
Gracias, gracias. Pa que veas, carnal. We don't
Wow.
lose, we tie a lot.
Yeah, speaking about that, Pachuca is in fifth with 25, and Necaxa, the team that has, I think, the most draws in the league with 6, is in sixth position, bro. Necaxa. That is crazy. Tigres in seventh with 24. Querétaro in eighth with 23. Chivas in ninth with 22. Pumas with 20 points in 10th position. Leon with 20 points as well in 11th. Santos, 12th position. And that would be the cutoff for the teams going into Liga or playing. After
Bro, Querétaro's doing better than you. You should be ashamed.
a lot of teams are doing better than Chivas. Even the game on Saturday was disappointing. They were up 3-0 and they quickly fumbled at the last minute. This team is not ready to win a championship. They have to really fix a lot of issues. And I think Gago needs to look himself in the mirror and say, am I closing out games correctly? Because it's the same issue Baunovic had, and that's why we didn't win a title. Third, we're looking at the rest of the league. San Luis really fell off. They're in 13th position. Juarez in 14th. Mazatlan in 15th. Atlas in 16th.
Oh my God! Just stop, man. You said rest of the league, and you said Juarez, San Luis, Mazatlan, Atlas, a bunch of bums.
Wait,
No, don't bore the people with those pieces of shit.
hold on. I gotta finish, bro.
The best one.
Tijuana. They have the same amount of victories as everybody listening to this podcast right now. 0. And we're not even in the league. They have 0 wins. Piojo Herrera is a bum. Barney Rubble, bum. And Pueblo's in last place with 5 points.
But I said
All
that a
right.
month ago, and Joel and Dick Flowers, Ricardo, they all got their pussy hurt. They all got their panties in a bunch. They start bringing up titles from 10 years ago. They start bringing up 2014 World Cup qualifications against New Zealand.
That was 10 years
Es
ago,
que
dog.
cabrón, I'm gonna bring all of that stuff back up. Now, here's my argument on it. Are you willing to tell me that fucking Tijuana currently, the way their plantel is set up, is at the level of what Piojo is used to handling? Like, no way, bro. That's a massive downgrade.
I disagree with that. I think
You think Tijuana has a good team, like a good base.
I think they have a decent team. They're not like I look at like maybe a Juarez, maybe a Mazatlan. They should be better than those teams, bro. They have Coco Liso. They have 2 decent goalkeepers. One of them's always been called up to the national team. They have players, dude. I think it's just Piojo.
Well, you know what's the beauty? He's not getting
makes him
fired.
look bad. Is he a coach de solo de cartera that he needs money spent? Or is he a coach that can improve his players that he currently has? Like a lot of coaches would do a lot of great things. Fucking Efrain Alvarez, isn't he the greatest pocho to come out in the last 10 years? The fuck happened to him?
Yeah, I agree. But somehow he's still there. They probably don't want to cash him out on his contract. But I do think that Liga MX desperately needs new blood. And what I mean by new blood, they need more teams. They need teams that are hungry in the second division. I'm looking at you, Leones Negros. I'm looking at you, Morelia, Atlante. I think these teams would put some more respect into the bottom half of the table.
I believe so too. But the problem is we have to open up the league. As of right now, it's a closed league with no promotion or relegation. So that's the fight to fight.
Yeah, I just think like you look at these clubs that are, not allowed to enter the first division, and they've been consistent for a while. I think Leones Negros for sure, Atlante, um, even Mineros de Zacatecas, bro. Like I would like to see some new clubs go in there and see if they can compete. But when you look at like Puebla, you look at Tijuana, you look at Mazatlan, bro, you're just like, dude, why? Why are you guys still in the first division? If this was any other, year before they closed that off, you guys would have been long gone a long time ago.
I agree with that, but I also think it's one of the consequences of not having a salary cap. So, MLS, the reason they have a salary cap is to try to keep things even so everybody can compete, so and so. But when you don't have a salary cap, it's just gonna be like everyday life. There's gonna be a big inequality between the rich and the poor. It's like if you expected a homeless guy to compete with Elon Musk on Big Bank, Little Bank, it ain't gonna fucking happen. So the reason we're able to have the Rayados, the Tigres, the America, and all these big money teams on the international stage is because we have the little poor guys to rip off. Now, if you want to have equality for everybody, then that means salary cap, and that means probably on the international stage you're gonna shit the bed.
I think they should do what the Major League Baseball do, which is revenue sharing. So, you know, I'll take example my poor franchise, the Oakland Athletics. Their salary is so low that they take charity from the rest of the owners. So, the Oakland A's get money from all the other clubs because they're so poor. And I think that is what Liga MX should do.
I mean, you sort of see it with Ascenso, though, right? The team that finishes last, they got to pay a fine and they got to give it to like second division. I think the problem with that, though, is that no one trusts Mexican soccer. Like, no one actually believes that these teams get that split of the money, or no one even believes that if they actually get the money, that the teams are putting it to good use and the owners are not pocketing it. So I think at the end of the day, that's the biggest concern: corruption. Like, what is truly going on behind closed doors?
So I had to Google this. What the Major League Baseball does is they pool their money. So they take all of the revenue streams like ticket sales, concessions, 48% of it goes to a central pot. And then they share that equally among 30 teams. And that helps the smaller markets with less money get a financial boost from the larger market teams. And that's how they try to make it a more competitive league. So could you see Liga MX doing something like that? Fuck no.
Fuck, never.
Yeah, yeah. Every man for themselves in Liga MX. That's just how we're wired. I will say though, they should try to do something like that with trying to sell the TV rights internationally. You know, like have Amazon Prime host the entire league um, for the rest of the world, like here in the States or in Europe, Asia, Africa. And then from that revenue stream, like distribute that equally for all the clubs. I think that would be a smart move.
No, I mean that would be a smart move, but dude, this Liga MX, there's a lot. I mean, spoiler alert here. For any of you guys that seen Narcos Mexico, when Miguel Angel Felix brings all the cartel leaders together, tries to put everything under one roof, and it works for a little bit, and then they all say "fuck you" and they
Yeah.
split up. That's the same way I see it. TV Azteca, Televisa, and everybody, they'll come together for a little bit, and then they'll go back to missing the old ways, and they'll throw everything away.
Yeah, I know. Looking at the match week 15, we have some interesting matchups. Starting with Querétaro Mazatlan to kick things off on Friday at 6, Necaxa Santos at 8 p.m. And then Cruz Azul versus Puebla. Those are some easy 3 points for you guys. Abdias, don't fuck that up against Puebla.
Yeah, I thought the same thing against Necaxa, and I almost fucking flipped the table. So we'll see what happens.
Meanwhile, Chivas have a tough test against Pachuca on Saturday at 4 p.m. America plays Toluca. That is a great match. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then the Clásico de Nuevo León, we have Monterrey playing against Tigres. Curious to see how those teams go into that match. I know that they both have had matches yesterday and today, so it might not be um, the most competitive. I'm sure they're going to be using their reserves and substitutions. But that is the main event on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Atlas San Luis, Pumas León, and Juarez versus Tijuana, man. I don't think you could pay me to watch that one.
Yeah, no. That's a snooze fest. You know what? You put that on as background noise to take a badass nap. Because I'll say this: no nap hits harder than when you pass the fuck out watching a game.
Habibi, you're a rounder, so any perspective on these lines?
For anything specific?
I'm looking at like America Toluca.
I mean, I would expect that to be even, but just because America's at home, I'm going to say not the case that Toluca is going to be the underdog. But here, I mean, I can let you know right now. Yeah, Toluca is definitely the underdog. America's minus 130. So for every $100 you bet on them, you get 70 back. While Toluca's plus 320. So
Oh
for
shit.
every $100 you bet, you win 320. So for Toluca being first place, that's a nice value right there.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you.
Mm.
Fucking Friday, Querétaro Mazatlan. Is it just fucking me, or is every fucking Friday Querétaro Juárez, Querétaro Mazatlan, Mazatlan Juárez?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, does those three teams rotate each other on Fridays?
No, dude. I'm like, wait, I swear I said that last week that it was Mazatlan Querétaro. I feel like they played
I
each other.
swear to God, dude, we live in the Matrix or something.
What do they call that when it's like the Mandela effect? Yeah, when it's like you remember, like half the people remember it one way, and then the other half of the people remember it the other way.
I
But
swear, man. Querétaro Mazatlan. I feel like we have seen that game like 10 times this season. Jesus
Güey,
Christ.
por eso el chiste ahorita en todo México es que esos cabrones juegan en su propia liga los viernes.
no, and you're not wrong because match week 16, Mazatlan plays Juarez on Friday.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what it is. I think Mazatlan plays on Fridays. Yeah, I think that's their whole thing.
Yeah, they got like a round robin with Juárez,
No, güey.
Querétaro, and
¿Ves? Se nota que son pochos, güey. Es el sábado botanero. La cosa es que TV Azteca tiene los derechos de televisión y esos son los equipos de ellos.
I know that Mazatlan is a party city, and we are sort of still in that spring break. So I think like just for tourism's sake and fans' sake, they probably let the weekends be for, that for partying and being on the beach. And I think that's probably why they schedule their games on a Friday.
So
hey,
hold on.
speaking of
The man who
partying in
always puts
Mazatlan,
on the tinfoil hat when it comes to Televisa doesn't understand that when the other big network in Mexico, TV Azteca, owns the TV rights to some people that they put them to play on Fridays. Porque es el viernes botanero.
no.
O no sabes de ese pedo. Si no sabes, no sabes, no hay pedo.
Who owns Mazatlan? Isn't it What's that? Ricardo Salinas?
Yes.
And he is associated with Azteca?
Yes.
I see.
It's all broadcasting rights, guys.
No, I'm gonna stick with that Mandela effect theory. But with Mazatlan, shout out to my people of Mazatlan. I stand with you. I respect you. Fuck them widows. Fuck them gringos.
Yeah, so
And
what was going on with that? Like the whites were complaining about the noise levels?
so Mazatlan is a banda city, man. La banda es lo que repega allí, dude. Mariscos, banda, cocaína, and shootouts at the club is what Mazatlan is known for. So all the white people showed up and said, "Why is there banda at the beach? You know, I'm trying to tan, I'm trying to relax, I'm trying to take a nap." And so Mazatlan citizens said, "Fuck you! This is what we do, man. We play la banda 24/7." But you know, the Mazatlan government, they want to bend over for the güeros, and they're trying to get rid of La Banda. The no more bandas can go to the beach. But that's the thing, man. When you're paisa and you go to Mazatlan, you're walking with $50 in your pocket, so you can give it to a banda that can play you a couple songs. Like you know, you're gonna have tequila, you're gonna have banda, you're gonna have coke at the beach. Like that's your game plan. And fucking güeros, man, they're trying to get rid of it. It's like if they went to Guadalajara and said, "Hey, the mariachi's annoying. Can you guys like ban it?" Like you just don't do that.
Bro, they're trying to get rid of mariachis in Puerto Vallarta too.
Yeah, that's
Putos
right.
güeros, man. Fucking America and this
There's a
communism.
there's a restaurant that's been there forever, and they one of their the things that attracts visitors is their live mariachi. And I guess some Americans bought some property near it, and they started complaining, and the restaurant's going to shut down.
So
Putos güeros.
here's the argument, and it's something that I heard a long time ago, and it's something that I've explained to my wife. Is like the problem is that Americans in general want to control everything, and they want for everything to bend to their will. As to how in Latin America, it's a lot more open, where we understand that we don't have control over everything, nor do we need to have control over things. We just need to live with our situation. So, therefore, I'm in my house. My neighbor, two houses down, is having a banger at 3 a.m. I'm not gonna go tell him to turn it down. I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep because it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired, and that's all that's gonna happen. Like you're gonna keep it pushing, while Americans just want everything their way because they always want to be in control of the narrative.
They're called Karens.
Yeah, it's called privilege.
It's called
It's
being
called
born.
being white.
It's called being born into privilege and wealth, and just having things your way because that's how you were brought up, and that's the culture and environment that you were brought up, and you don't know anything different. And I think it's like when you're finally face to face with something different, something that you don't like, you just think that you can control that. And I understand, like, if you live in the States, you live in a community with HOAs, I get it, right? But when you go to a foreign country, they don't need to adapt to you. You need to adapt to them because that's their country and that's like their culture, and you have to be the one that's, you know, going to be respectful. And unfortunately, I've done a lot of traveling in Europe, and American tourists are the worst. And I try to not, when I go to the foreign countries, I'm like, "Oh, actually, yeah, I'm from the States, but I'm actually Mexican." I I use that as my excuse cuz they treat you differently. They treat you a lot differently. I know a lot of people. I've been to the same city as others, and they give me a completely different experience. They're like, Paris, right? Everybody hates Paris. Everyone's so rude in Paris. I'm like, bro, I fucking love Paris. I got a BJ at a fucking balcony. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? Paris is awesome. Like, you just have to learn to be a chameleon and be cool. Don't be a dick, bro. And
I mean, that's why I travel with a Mexican passport.
That's a risky game, man. If you get kidnapped, they're gonna say, "Tell Mexico to come save you."
No, that's why you carry your American visa.
Don't know. Don't have one. Head ass.
So, güey, ¿sabes qué? Son las 3 de la mañana. Yo ya me tengo que ir. But before this shit ends, my hot take for the night is that ISIS are a bunch of pussies, bro. They keep making these threats that this and that's gonna happen, and they never follow through. They have threatened the Euros. They have threatened all of these things, and what's up? Nada. Como putos no hacen nada. So you know what, guys? Don't live your life in fear. Go out, fuck without a condom, drink too much, do whatever it is that you want to. All right, because these pussies ain't gonna follow through with it.
Touch your
Oh,
coke though. Fentanyl is a real risk.
That one is, but ISIS doesn't
Or
run
just
that game.
avoid it.
Habibi, what you got for me? I appreciate you staying up late.
Nah, I'm not staying up late, man. I'm not at Diaz here at 3 a.m. But my hot take is todo el mundo estaba esperando que llegara el argentino, que llegara a conquistar a Monterrey. ¿Y qué hizo el güey? Pecho frío. The last time you seen him was in Qatar scoring 5 fucking penalties. El único argentino que ha conquistado a Monterrey se llama Fernando el Guapo Gago, papá. Porque Chivas le ganó a Monterrey. But no, all jokes aside, looking forward to Liga MX. I feel Madrid is cooked in Champions League. That's a story for another day. Que venga lo bueno, que venga lo sabroso, que venga la liguilla y a ver qué pasa, papá.
Love it, love it. Thank you guys for joining us tonight on YouTube, Twitter Spaces, everywhere. Of course, to all our listeners who'll be listening to this as it goes up on your favorite podcasting app. Don't really have any hot takes. I did enjoy seeing Messi not get his way. I know he's used to it, but not tonight. As far as Chivas go, they've shown time and time again that they do not have what it takes to close out games and to win a championship. So I've already put a bow tie on this season for Chivas. Just don't embarrass us in the play in or playoff or whatever. I'll leave it at that. I will say I can't believe we went this whole time without acknowledging Chicharito's first goal back at Chivas. I'm sorry that I missed it live, but very emotional moment for everyone. I think him coming home like he said he would and contributing to the success of the team, it means a lot. I hope that this is one of many goals that he'll score at Chivas. Habibi, you got something?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Real quick to that, I am so glad he went out and celebrated by drinking tequila. He was shooting straight at the bar. Honestly, I didn't think he had it in him, man. I was starting to believe all the cuck jokes. I was believing them. I was saying them. I just didn't think he had it in him. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he no longer was a man. Like Ricardo says, I thought he was a blue-haired lesbian bitch. And when I saw him drink that tequila, I was like, "That's my guy."
That's
El
the guy.
Chicharito ha regresado, papá.
Yep. Yep. I agree, man. I always felt that he was always at his best when he was cheating on his girlfriend, scoring on and off the field, doing his shit. I always felt that was when we saw Chicharito at his best, when he was scoring goals back to back to back to back at United, at Bayer Leverkusen, at Real Madrid. This dude was just scoring on and off the field, and I hope that in Guadalajara he's getting some grand pussy. With that, guys, we'll catch you in the next